you'll find out how much your case could be worth for free and get connected to a professional who can help. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid and I don't get paid. So pick up that phone and call the number on your screen now. I said right now. Call now, not later now. I don't hear the phone ringing. Listen, I'd call you, but I don't have your number. I know you're watching. Yes, you. Just pick up the phone and call.
To get a windfall, you first need to call. Call your favorite attorney now. He'd call you, but he doesn't have your number.
800-787-1896. That's 800-787-1896.
So we are very excited to hear King Charles speak to the joint session of Congress later today. I think it'll be a great speech talking about unity, symbolism, and also the first time we've heard a royal speak since his mother, Queen Elizabeth, spoke. I'm very happy to see that these relations seem to be on the mend, and fingers crossed going forward as well that the UK and the US will come together.
You know, and I think King Charles, he has a sense of humor.
He does.
If I was King Charles, I would bring a big 250th anniversary birthday card and have the royal family sign the card. I think that would actually add a special touch, and it will actually warm the heart of Americans around the world and help bridge and solidify and reinforce the relationship on each side of the pond.
Yeah, the Brits have a very wry sense of humor, and to celebrate the 250th, I mean, the irony there, we broke free from them. So I think a card would be very apt, John. I like that. It would be cool if you did that. We'll see what happens.
You know, and just my mind goes.
You're watching the Dove TV, encouraging and informative for Boise and the Treasure Valley. Seen on KTVJ3 and these Dove TV affiliates. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you and happy Tuesday. Welcome to Jerry Bilden's Believe It or Not Hour.
Most don't believe it.
No, he makes it up. It's your job to believe it.
Yeah, good morning.
And it usually is, well, we'll process that.
Yeah, and part of it has to do with the weather, whether you believe that or not.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. A lot in the news. There always is. We'll bring you some of the highlights on that. The weather is turning warmer and actually pretty cold last night.
Chilly.
I walked out this morning and I looked and I go, no, that can't be right. It said 35. I got to another place as I'm driving in and it went to 38 and it stayed there until I got here.
Yeah, well, it's typical early spring salmon season. I oftentimes have dressed warmer on the river at this time of year than I do on the mountain.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so anyway, we'll talk about that. A lot going on with the fallout from the correspondence dinner from Saturday night. It's just amazing to me. I'm still kind of short on words on what to think and say and do. But like you just left on tilt where the conversation goes with this mess.
Right. Yeah.
The gentleman was arraigned yesterday on 3 counts. They think there could be many more coming. It kind of falls into an interesting jurisdiction. It falls inside federal law, okay, but it also falls inside Judge Jeannie's jurisdiction in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And now she's going to weigh in with her possible things. Right. So this guy could have a list this long, and if convicted, will spend the rest of his life in prison.
And I think it's moving in that direction. Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving it up. They're going to try to get this thing going. You know, Ecclesiastes talks about swift justice. If justice is delayed, justice is denied.
Oh, yeah.
And Ecclesiastes says, you know, you got to do it before the sun goes down. That sets the fear, and I use the word fear, respect for the law. You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, all that's coming up. Jerry's here. That's all that counts.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah, we are.
If that's what counts, we're in deep trouble.
All right.
But it is, guess what? It's National Superhero Day.
Ooh.
Honoring superheroes.
We're talking about you?
Both real and fictional. I'm a fictional superhero, but there are real ones too. You know,
Well, your grandkids think you're a hero.
Yeah, well, at times, yeah, especially when I've had to alter my sugar, approach.
Oh.
Yeah, Skittles. RFK Jr. didn't like Skittles too much, so
Okay.
we moved away from Skittles. But that's okay, because they're bigger now. And Skittles became the go-to because they were non-chokeable.
Ah.
Yeah, you have little kids, you guys like, okay, give them something sweet, but we don't want to put them in danger.
Okay.
So anyway, it is Superhero Day. If you know any, go thank them. It's also National Bravehearts Day, and this is serious, honoring the bravery of families dealing with childhood cancer. And I think we all know folks who deal with this, and in our prayers, and we certainly honor you on this day. Also, National Great Poetry Reading Day. Now, we had a poetry day like a week or two ago, and the reason is because it is actually National Poetry Month.
Okay, well.
Are there any poets anymore?
Oh, well, you got to go to Elko, Nevada. And you got to go to the Cowboy Poets National Jamboree.
I love it.
And you'll be entertained for hours.
I got to say, it's the only poetry I've seen in the last few years is cowboy poetry.
I'm telling you, it's the only place where everything works out.
Well, now, we know that cowboy poets have another occupation. They're cowboys.
Yeah.
Now, are there any just poets anymore?
Well, I don't know.
Is there a market for just poetry?
Well, you probably wouldn't. I'd eat a lot.
Let's move on.
Okay.
It is, well, here's an even better job in higher demand. It's National School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. I think we had School Bus Driver Appreciation Day not long ago. It just seems very fresh, but I guess that school bus drivers need more appreciation than we think.
Well, it's an interesting job.
I think so,
It's an
yeah.
interesting job, and a school bus driver can be as influential on children as a school teacher can.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what are the rules on school buses these days?
If it's yellow, stay away from it.
Okay.
I'm still surprised how many people will zip past the school bus with all the lights flashing. They'll go around it.
I just saw it the other day. I saw a school bus coming in, and they do yellow before they go to red.
Yeah.
And there's drivers trying to get past it before it pops to the red.
I just can't.
The red's coming.
And then now they have these plastic arms that come out in case they walk across the street.
Yes.
It's amazing to me.
Yep.
I don't know. It's people think,
I'm not sure why people think they're in such a
I think
hurry.
that school bus drivers may ought to be have the opportunity to have a camera mounted in certain places, and they can snap it and then just turn it into the police.
You know what? I think, sometimes we see video footage from inside school buses mounted up in the front. Is this just in some school buses? Are they starting to do this in more and more buses now?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
Look, I'm not for
Big Brother monitoring.
Big Brother monitoring.
Yeah.
But the school bus thing is an interesting thing. I have actually watched people go around them. Even with the red lights flashing, I've watched people come the other way and keep going.
Yes.
And you kind of go, it's yellow. What do you need it to do? The whole bus needs to blink at you?
It's true.
Anyway, God bless school bus drivers.
Yeah. Be
Takes
careful.
a lot of patience to be one of those.
That's right. And, if you're driving past a school bus, be careful. Those kids are valuable.
There you go.
They're precious
They're
children
going
in
to
there.
pick your retirement home.
Yeah. What a thought! They're going to pick your retirement home.
It could be the garage.
Be nice to them.
It could be the garage.
Oh, that's funny, man. Okay, let's have one thing to eat today. It is National Blueberry Pie Day. Blueberries are abundant in Maine, so it's no surprise that blueberry pie is the state's official dessert. And blueberry pies come in many styles, including classic double crust, single crust, or open face, mini pies, or no-bake chilled pies. And, of course, the key ingredient in blueberry pie is blueberries, one of the healthiest fruits on the market, low in calories, high in nutrients, full of antioxidants. This nutrient berry helps inhibit cancer development, and eating blueberries may assist in maintaining healthy blood pressure, reduce blood sugar, and ease symptoms of depression. Wow, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Native to North America, blueberries have been consumed for over 13,000 years, and indigenous peoples often used the food as food, medicines, and in dyes. And in fact, it's the stuff that makes the blueberries blue. Also is what contains the antioxidants that make them so healthy for us.
Well,
so enjoy your blueberries.
Now, is that the state pie?
Yeah, it's Maine state pie.
Oh, Maine.
Maine.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Ours is Marionberry, I think.
Oh, I think you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't he mayor of Washington, D.C.?
I don't know.
Marionberry, remember?
Oh, well, that was Mayor Berry.
Mayor Marion Barry. That was his name.
Oh, really? Mayor Marion Barry.
Yeah, and he got a little trouble, remember?
Well, he got caught in the hotel room with a camera.
Yes, that's the guy.
That was a bad day at the office.
I don't know where these memories come flooding
I
back
don't know
from.
either.
I know.
But I went to Becky's for lunch Sunday after church.
Oh, yeah.
And it's known for when the Marion berries are in season.
Wonderful.
They make the official Marionberry pie.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't in season.
Oh, okay.
So I brought home a fresh boysenberry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it has the antioxidants that the blueberry does, but who cares?
Yeah. You know what? I got to tell you, there was a rumor running out of control that Becky's Pies up in Union Creek was selling Costco pies. It's not true. It's not true. Let me dispel that rumor.
Yeah, it's not true. No, they bake them. They had the list of pies there.
Yes, no, it's good stuff.
It's good. Yeah, that whole thing there at Union Creek has changed a little bit.
Yeah, in what way?
Well, they went through an ownership change.
Oh, I see. You mean Becky's?
Yeah.
Becky's, yeah.
And the place across the street.
Oh, okay.
All the cabins and all that.
Yeah.
It got bought out by the same people that are running Crater Lake.
Oh,
Lodge.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's got a little controversial. But Becky's is still Becky's.
Okay.
And during the summertime, right next to Becky's is you have a little ice cream place.
Yes.
And they load that up with all kinds of ice cream.
Yep. And that's another place. You got to slow down when going through Union Creek.
Yeah.
It's a slow down area.
And you got to go in and walk the gorge.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
That's the birthplace of the Rogue River.
Yeah, it's wonderful up there. Yep.
Anyway, so much for berry pies. Is that it?
That's all I got.
Really?
I got no more time.
Talking about a guy that needs antioxidants, this guy right here does.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, starting off cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny and calm with high temperatures in the mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Moving down the Willamette Valley with decreasing clouds becoming mostly sunny in mid-60s from Salem down through Eugene with some early patchy fog around Albany and lows in the low 40s. Mostly sunny skies today across central Oregon with daytime highs in the low to mid-60s for Prineville, Bend, and Sun River. A sunny day on tap for Boise, Idaho with a high temperature in the mid-60s. Along the Oregon coast, patchy fog, then sunny in low 60s in Coos Bay. Sunny to mostly sunny for Port Orford and Brookings with highs in the upper 50s and Crescent City, California near 60. In southern Oregon, some early patchy fog in the Rogue Valley, then sunny in low 70s for Grants Pass and Medford and near 69 in Ashland. Sunny skies for the Klamath Basin with highs in the mid-60s. Into Northern California, sunny with highs in the upper 60s for Wairika. Sunshine continues moving south with highs near 77 in Redding and Chico, and patchy fog in Fort Bragg, then sunny with a high in the mid-50s. In the Bay Area, patchy morning fog from Santa Rosa and Napa down through San Jose, then sunny with highs in the low to mid-70s, but sunny in San Francisco with a high temperature near 68. For Central California, sunny skies with pleasant temperatures in the mid-70s from Sacramento down through Stockton, Fresno, and Bakersfield with a light northwest wind this afternoon and lows in the low 50s. It's a look at your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op.
And there's a picture of our valley. That's the south end this morning. Look at that, nice and green still. Okay, sun's a few moments away from coming completely up.
Yeah.
A little bit of haze out there, but not much.
Hey, did you get any raindrops at your place yesterday?
It's interesting you say that. Yes, I think I got 3.
Yeah, we had
They were
a
on
few.
my windshield going home yesterday.
I thought, what's wrong with that weatherman? He never even mentioned this.
Well, that's what happens when you
weather
don't have any antioxidants.
Okay, let's move on. Time for some encouragement here with Pastor Jack Graham as he shows the relationship Peter desired to have with Jesus.
We know Peter loved the Lord. It was Peter who said when many were leaving Jesus, he said, Lord, where would we go? You have the words of eternal life. It was Simon Peter who said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Simon wanted a relationship with Jesus. He did. And that's when Jesus says, you call me teacher and Lord, and you're right, for so I am. But if I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. When Simon Peter heard this, Jesus said, if I don't cleanse you, if I don't wash you, you have no part of me. And Simon said, okay, give me a bath. Head to feet, wash me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty extravagant guy.
Yeah. It's, looking at our Bible heroes, Peter is certainly one of the most interesting in there.
Yeah. Yeah, he goes from fishing to loudmouth,
yes,
to denier,
right,
back to fishing, and still given another chance to return to ministry.
Yes, yeah, it's a great example for all of us, and a good illustration. You know, God may not be done with you when you think He is.
Yeah, it's. Remember when he and the guys gave up and said, well, okay, we're done with ministry, we're going to go back to fishing.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many pastors that I know, people who've been called to a ministry, I'm going to go back to being an engineer. I'm going to go back to, being a businessman. I'm going to go back to being insurance, whatever. And I go, wait a minute. The scripture says your callings and giftings are irrevocable. Mm-hmm. So what, you had a bad day?
Yeah.
Yes. Take a walk at Union Creek. Go up and look at the gorge. Have some pie. Come home. Right. Start over.
Good advice.
Okay, so much for all that. All right, let's take a look at some of the top stories today on this Tuesday morning. This is kind of interesting. We're moving towards the 250th birthday of the United States. It was 250 years ago that King Charles III said goodbye to all those people that went to America. Well, yesterday, that was King George III.
Okay.
King George said goodbye. King Charles came over yesterday.
Yes.
So King Charles is here, and the Queen. They've arrived yesterday. They're here for 4 days. Mm-hmm. To supposedly smooth things and soften things between the United States and the UK. They got a little ruffled during all the stuff going on with Iran and UK. Well, they have with all due respect, their prime minister needs to go away.
Yeah, Starmer and Trump are not getting along.
No.
Yeah.
And who would get along with Starmer?
Who could? Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, the King and the Queen are here. He's going to address Congress. And the last time this happened was in 1991 when the Queen addressed Congress.
Right.
So this is going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be a raw.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be, hey, you guys came from us, you're a bad child, straighten out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that at all.
What kind of car are they getting into?
Well, that's interesting. I noticed that too. I don't know if they flew that over.
I wonder, yeah.
That is the King's car, but it's not a Bentley. If it is, I can't.
It doesn't look like a Bentley, but maybe they have a new model or something that we're not aware of.
But it wasn't the Beast.
Yeah. No, not the Beast either, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, the King and the Queen are here, and they had a nice get-together with the President and the First Lady yesterday. They took a walk in the garden yesterday.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, lovely. I don't know if we're going to plant a tree or something. But anyway, they're here for a couple of days, and hopefully the rift between the UK and the Trump over issues, including Iran, can kind of get softened out and straightened out. But that's what they're going to try to do. And he's going to give a speech to the joint session, which is going to be historic.
Yeah. Yes. I'm curious what he's going to say, because this king is a little bit woke. So,
well, there was rumors he's going to talk about the environment, which he is strong on.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
I don't know. I think the king, he may be better prepped than getting off on some of his little high horses.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Come on over and say, hey, you know what? we're family.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's get along.
Speaking of family, do you think he'll take a trip to the West Coast while he's here? He's got family on the West Coast.
Yeah. Oh, well, I wonder if the family on the West Coast is going to go meet him on the East Coast.
I don't know.
Well, Harry and Meghan, that's sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
It's too bad the brothers can't get along.
Right.
I was on my, excuse me, I was on the phone the other day with our good friend, Dr. Kevin Lehman.
Oh, yeah.
And he and I joke around a little bit. And I said, Kevin, yeah, can you, if I set it up, would you volunteer counseling Harry and William?
Yeah, Harry, William, and the King.
And the King. I said, can we get these three guys together? Would you kind of...
He's the guy for it.
And I said, you'd be better than Dr. Phil.
Oh, why?
Huh?
Why?
Well, Dr. Phil is too... I mean, Dr. Phil's Dr. Phil.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Kevin would come in with a lot more calmness.
Yeah. Yes. Humor.
Soft humor.
Soft humor, yep.
With the mission in mind of really honoring the Lord. And not that Dr. Phil wouldn't, because he's a believer, but I think Kevin would be better fit.
But you know what Kevin Lehman would do after he got done counseling the King and his sons? He'd write a book about it.
Yeah. Have a new king by Friday. I did say that to him on the phone. I said, write a book, have a new king by Friday.
Oh, that's funny.
But anyway, so much for that. Right. Where are we going with this? All right, so yesterday in the UN, this is crazy. Why in the world are we in the UN?
I don't know.
The United States and Iran clashed at the UN yesterday over Tehran's nuclear program and its selection to be one of the dozens of vice presidents on a month-long conference to review nuclear non-proliferation treaty. And you're going to put Iran on that committee?
Well, they're on the Human Rights Committee. Oh, come on. I mean, nothing could get more absurd than this.
Yeah. So anyway, they clashed at the UN yesterday. All right. So back to what's going on here with what happened Saturday night. And as you know, the Correspondents' Dinner shooting just kind of erupted everything. It hadn't really officially begun.
Right. Yeah.
And the shots fired out and everything else like that. So in the meantime, when you see this, and boy, they have analyzed every inch of all these videos. It's pretty amazing. Some people didn't even move. Some people kept eating. Some people were protecting women and putting them under the table.
Yes.
I mean, all kinds of responses were going on.
Right.
Well, in the meantime, Mr. Cole Allen is the guy that did the shooting, and Todd.
Charges in United States District Court against Cole Thomas Allen. The first count is attempted assassination of the President of the United States. This count is punishable by up to life in prison. The second count is punishable by up to 10 years in prison. And the third count is discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence, which is punishable by a mandatory minimum term of imprisonment of 10 years, a maximum of life, and the 10 years is consecutive to any other sentence imposed.
Now, he shot a Secret Service agent. How about attempted murder on an agent?
Well, okay. And again, Judge Jeannie, she hasn't finished her assessment yet. Yeah. She's the district judge there in Washington, D.C., so we'll see what she comes up with. But look, the guy is, it's all over for him. It's just a matter of how, I think that the only defense that this young guy has, and you can almost bet it's going to come up, is mental health.
Yes, and how is mental health affected by the rhetoric of our public officials?
Well, it's interesting you would say that. Because yesterday's conversation through all the media on the, and I'm talking the legacy media and the conservative media, pushing back on each other, blaming both sides for the rhetoric. And so it's obvious that the Democrats have really raised the temperature on names and titles that they're accusing Republicans and the president for. And even the press secretary came out yesterday and quoted a lot of one-liners that people were saying on the left.
Yes.
Calling the president various names.
Right.
And then the biggest one is Jimmy Kimmel, and I'll come to that story in just a moment.
Okay.
But that's within the last, 48 hours or so. But the rhetoric on the left against the president, they hate this man so much.
Yeah.
They hate him so much, and yet their message is anti-hate. But they hate him so much at any cost, under any circumstances, they want him dead.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you talk and you talk in that language, or you infer in that language, as much as the press is involved in it, sooner or later a wacko like this Cole Allen guy takes it seriously and thinks that he's the hero of the day if he takes him out.
Right.
How many more Cole Allens are sitting out there?
Unfortunately, I think there are a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, Hakeem Jeffries, who is the minority leader in the House, was accused of using bad. And there's just one video after him.
Oh, he's vile. He's vile.
He's very vile.
Yeah.
Well, he cracked down on Caroline Leavitt and called her a liar, and a stone cold liar. And he said, "I don't give a damn.
Right.
I'm going to continue this."
Right.
And here's some of his words.
The notion that any of us are concerned with so-called criticism from these phony Republicans as it relates to anything that has been said, certainly as it relates to the comment related to maximum warfare everywhere, all the time, in connection with the redistricting battle that Republicans launched. I stand by it. You can continue to criticize me for it. I don't give a damn about your criticism. First of all, that phrase, maximum warfare, everywhere, all the time, came from the White House in the summer of 2025, when they started this redistricting battle. And now they're big mad. Why? Because Democrats have decided to finish it. Get lost.
Okay, so what's so interesting about this is, look, this rhetoric is so high and so tense, it's not going to go away.
Right.
I could say about 4 things there that he's lying about that could be challenged. Okay. So you're a liar. No, you're a bigger liar. No, you're a liar. No, you're a bigger liar than I am. No, you lied about this, and it goes back and forth, and it doesn't seem to go anywhere. Okay. The bottom line is, I think the Democrats now see this as an opportunity to ratchet up even more, and it looks like they are doing it, which is really bad. I mean, this is, and folks, again, I think you need to understand, if you can, just process this. It'll help you to calm down.
Oh, yeah.
Or it can make you more upset.
Yeah.
But the Democrats get an A+, plus, 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 and I'm not talking about the LGBTQ pluses.
Right.
I'm just talking about liberal pluses.
Yeah.
All the way up to how many you want to put out, times, 10th power, whatever.
Okay.
And blaming you.
Yeah.
For what they're doing.
Yeah.
They get and then the media carries the water on it.
Absolutely.
Well, in the meantime, Jimmy Kimmel, who is really, this is just really bad, he said that First Lady Melania Trump had a twinkle in her eye as an expected widow.
Right.
And that was done the day before, Friday night before the shooting on Saturday morning. Or Saturday night. And so in the meantime, the First Lady goes to, writes on X and says, Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are coercive and deepens the political sickness within America. And he turned around and criticized her again.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you go with this, and she and the first lady, the president, and other people have called on ABC and Disney to fire him and set him aside. He didn't do a show last night, but he was speaking off the show, but he'll be back on tonight.
All right, okay.
Okay, you can only imagine where this is going to go. I think that the Democrats have seen an open door to keep this rhetoric full throttle.
Yeah, and we know that a lot of what's coming out of Jimmy Kimmel's mouth is vile.
Oh, boy.
And I don't think, honestly, he should be fired for that. I think he should be fired because he's just not funny and it's not a good late night format, period. And he's, losing money for the network.
Okay,
period.
So you make a good point. First Amendment being what it is, he can say what he wants.
Say what he wants.
But if I was looking at it from a business perspective, he should have gone a long time ago. He doesn't have any ratings.
Right. Forget it. You're out of here.
Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's some of the top stories for today. We'll take a quick blueberry pie break. We need those antioxidants going on.
My soul, my Savior God, to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Hey, this is Ed, co-owner of Visiting Angels. To continue to serve our seniors, we need more caregivers with a heart to serve. Our mission statement is honoring the art of giving, which means we honor you, the caregiver. We know it's our people that make Visiting Angels the best in-home care provider and a great place to work. Come be our next amazing caregiver. Give us a call or apply online. At Visiting Angels, we're committed to you because we honor the art of giving.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV. The Dove TV, encouraging and informative for the Fresno Visalia area on new full-power KEDZ TV. Seen on cable, satellite TV, and over the air. The Dove TV, encouraging and informative for the Fresno Visalia area on new full-power KEDZ TV.
1:30. A couple of quick stories here. The Federal Appeals Court yesterday, two court rulings. Actually, the court's ruling has eliminated two federal judges that tried to shut down the federal government protecting ICE buildings in Portland. All that was overturned again yesterday, and now they can go back to using whatever measure is needed to protect the building, including tear gas.
Right.
So this has been a tug-of-war going on in Portland for quite some time. Now there is a rumor, rumors being what they are. Okay. The ruling may not allow the Oregon National Guard to be used.
Oh.
That's still kind of ambiguous in this ruling.
Okay.
But does it eliminate the California National Guard being dispatched to come up and protect it?
Wow, what a question.
So, bottom line is the two judges who have tried to rule on the side of nonsense got shut down by another judge, and so this is going to be good. And folks, today is the last day in the state of Oregon. Today is the last day in the state of Oregon. Today, April 28th, is the last day to register to vote.
Yeah.
If you didn't like the ballot you got last time, you need to re-register. If you moved, you need to re-register. Change your name, you need to re-register. If you don't like being a Republican, you want to become an independent or a Democrat, you need to re-register. Or if you want to go the other way around, you need to register. If you're just going to stay independent because you're mad at both parties, okay, that's certainly an option. But remember this, you're not going to get a full ballot of people. This is a closed primary state. And you have this, read it.
Yeah.
Read it. But today's your last day to vote. And if you say, why bother, then I think you also forfeit your right to complain.
Yeah.
I remember doing talk radio for years.
Yeah.
People call in. And I went through this season. Boy, I got a lot of flack for it. First thing they call in, and I'd say, "Are you registered to vote?" "No, but." And I said, "Then you don't have a right to say anything," and I hung up on them.
I love it.
That lasted about 3 days. Okay, I never got any callers.
I love it.
But I'd ask them, are you registered to vote? Yes. All right, then go ahead and say what you have to say.
Yeah.
But if you didn't register to vote, I say, no, you don't have a right to say anything. You forfeited it.
And that's like people who write complaint letters and don't sign them.
First thing, I get a lot of them. And I open them up. The first thing I do is I go to a letter, and if there's no name on it, I just throw it in the trash. I don't even read it.
Good policy. Yeah.
Good policy.
Yeah.
Email, same thing. There's a way you can send an email without being identified.
Oh, I don't know that.
People are good at that. I don't know how they do it. They got all these crazy names. I'm ABC from XYZ or something like that. .com.
Right. Yeah.
And they'll send me this complaint letter, and then down at the bottom there's no name. I just rip it off, throw it away.
I like it. Yeah.
So anyway,
Good
so much for all
policy.
that.
Very nice.
All right, let's take a look at the satellite image.
Okay.
Here's what's going on out there. Nice day. All right, let's go back to you.
Should we move on, or should we do this?
No, do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right. Well, this is looking at U.S. steel. It's interesting because the administration has declared steel a national security commodity. So U.S. Steel CEO David Barrett has struck a major partnership with Nippon Steel, the Japanese. And he discussed this with Fox Businesses on the Fox Business Claimant Countdown.
We're patriots. We're here for America, and we do what's right for America. I think the tone that they've set with this, and also the Golden Chair director that we have, he's very bright, very engaged, looking for opportunities for America. And of course, with the name United States, that means great opportunities for us. So from the very beginning, once this overcame the CFIUS hurdles and we got through the negotiations with President Trump and the master negotiator he is, of course, with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, we got a good deal, not just for the United States, but also for U.S. Steel and also for Nippon. So it is a win-win-win. We do believe when you have an essential industry, this is national security, but I think of it as self-sufficiency. Just imagine if we didn't make steel here in the United States. And as we know, more than half of the steel in the world is made by China. And a lot of that seeps into the United States even now, and we actually have to file these suits to make sure that we get fairness. We don't want more than fairness. We want a level playing field, and then we can compete with anybody. And I think over time we're getting that. We're clearly showing the commitment to fair trade. We used to talk about free trade all the time. It's just like free trade is kind of like free lunch. It's not really that way. You have to dig into the details and understand what really matters.
All right. Interesting.
Well, you realize President Trump, when he first came into office, went after the steel thing.
Yeah.
Long before the geopolitic things went on, he was looking for the infrastructure and dependency upon other countries by, the old saying, put America first, make America first. So the more we can produce, become self-sufficient, the better off we are. And steel's one of those big things.
Right. It was one of the reasons that we were so strong and victorious in World War II. The Axis powers unleashed a sleeping giant in the United States, and one of the reasons we were able to be so strong in that effort was our manufacturing ability at home.
Yep.
Well, what's happened to our manufacturing ability? It's not home anymore, is it?
We've got to bring it back.
Yeah.
All right, so those are some of the top stories this morning all the way around. So it's blueberry pie time. We'll be right back.
We bow down and we worship you, Lord. We bow down and we worship you, Lord. We bow down and we worship you, Lord. Lord of all lords, you will.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Breakfast served daily until 2 p.m. Breakfast burritos, biscuits and gravy, skillets, omelets, and more. Sweet Tea Express. Don't get caught hungry.
Jerry, did you know that we're farmers?
Farmers? I knew there was a reason I like overalls.
At theDove, we plant seeds of hope, truth, and the gospel every day.
And when those seeds land in the right hearts, lives change.
But every harvest needs more hands.
That's where you come in.
Today, become a farmer with theDove. Plant a seed, help it grow.
Your gift reaches someone who needs hope.
Don't wait, join us in this harvest.
Let's grow something eternal together.
Give today at theDove.
All right, welcome back. 22 minutes before the hour. Well, U.S. and Iran, are they talking? Talks on, talks off. Talks on, talks off.
Yeah.
Talks on or the talks off? Do we know?
I don't know.
Let's check in with CBN News. They know everything.
President Donald Trump called off plans to send U.S. envoys to Pakistan for talks with Iran as negotiations break down. Speaking on Fox News, Trump underscored America's position.
Well, we have all the cards. If they want to talk, they can come to us or they can call us.
Today, Iran floated a new proposal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and end the conflict, while postponing nuclear negotiations to a later stage. U.S. officials rejected the plan, saying it could weaken Washington's leverage, particularly efforts to curb Iran's nuclear ambitions. The administration signaled it intends to maintain the naval blockade, pressuring Iran's oil exports. Iran's president is demanding Washington lift the blockade before negotiations can resume, calling it a clear breach of the ceasefire understandings. Meanwhile, in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he was shocked by the attempted assassination of President Donald Trump, condemning political violence and expressing gratitude that the president and First Lady were unharmed. Turning to the north, Netanyahu reaffirmed his government's determination to confront Hezbollah.
In the last 2 weeks, we have eliminated 46 terrorists, and we will act with a strong hand and an outstretched arm because we are not willing to accept this lawlessness.
At the same time, former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett and Yair Lapid announced a new political alliance.
I am taking the most Zionist and most patriotic step we have ever taken for the sake of our country. This evening, we are uniting and establishing the Together Party under my leadership.
This alliance comes after their 2021 coalition ended a decade of rule by Netanyahu, with Bennett serving first as prime minister. Now their renewed partnership aims to challenge Netanyahu's leadership in the elections expected later this year.
And Joshua Swanson joins us now with more. So what more can you tell us about Iran's offer to the United States and why it was rejected?
Well, what we're learning is that Iran is trying to change the order of negotiations in a way that could lead to a faster deal, but not necessarily a more comprehensive one. So according to U.S. officials, Iran's proposal focuses first on reopening the Strait of Hormuz and ending the current conflict while kicking the nuclear can down the road. So that's significant because Iran's leadership appears divided over how much it's willing to concede on its nuclear program, including uranium enrichment. Now, from Washington's perspective, that's the core issue. President Donald Trump has made it clear that preventing Iran from advancing toward a nuclear weapon is a red line, and accepting Iran's proposal, lifting the blockade and easing pressure could remove the very leverage that the U.S. is using to force those concessions later.
Does Iran seem to be worried about the impact of the blockade?
Yes. So, well, if you listen to President Trump, the answer is a resounding yes. The president claimed he holds all the cards, warning that Iran's oil infrastructure could collapse within days as U.S. destroyers continue to turn back dozens of tankers. So since April 13th, when the blockade started, the U.S. Navy has stopped 37 vessels. And in one recent incident, the U.S. Navy helicopter actually from a guided missile destroyer intercepted the Savon, which was a Panama-flagged liquefied petroleum gas tanker. Now, U.S. CENTCOM says that vessel's among the 19 sanctioned Iranian shadow fleet. So the U.S. military is still firmly in control. But if you look at the moves coming out of Tehran, the picture is far more defiant. The Iranian foreign minister landed in Moscow today following a high-stakes diplomatic marathon through Pakistan and Oman. His mission, a bold three-phase peace proposal, effective. We aren't blinking. So Tehran says they won't talk with a gun to their head. Washington says they won't put the gun down until the deal is signed. So the world is watching to see who blinks first. Ephraim?
Indeed. Let's talk about Israel versus Hezbollah. What is happening there?
Yeah, what we're seeing along Israel's northern border right now is a controlled but ongoing escalation between Israel and Hezbollah. In the past day, the IDF carried out airstrikes in southern Lebanon. They killed 3 Hezbollah operatives who were near Israeli troops. Israeli forces, of course, struck several Hezbollah sites, including what was described as a headquarters site in Bint Jabil, which has been a heavy conflict area. On the ground, Israeli troops are continuing to uncover Hezbollah infrastructure embedded within civilian areas. We've seen that playbook before. In one operation, forces found a weapons cache hidden inside a child's bedroom, in fact, underneath stuffed animals. That included rifles and grenades. So the IDF says it has dismantled more than about 50 terror sites in recent days. Now, Hezbollah is also continuing its attacks on the IDF. They launched an explosive drone towards Israeli troops. So overall, this remains a tense and very active front.
Is Hezbollah still rejecting talks between Israel and Lebanon?
Yes, Hezbollah is making it very clear that it still rejects any talks between Israel and Lebanon, and its position has not softened. Hezbollah's leader, Naim Qassem, is strongly opposing Lebanon's reported plans for any sort of direct negotiations with Israel. He's calling the move a grave sin and warning that it could destabilize the country. He categorically rejected any direct negotiation. Further to say that the group will continue what it calls its defensive resistance. So, bottom line, Hezbollah is not just rejecting talks, it's actively trying to delegitimize them.
All right, welcome back. And welcome back. Glad you could join us. All right, well, you know what? It's a perfect time. Let's take a look.
I'm unplugged. I was way over there.
Let's take a look at our weather. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, starting off cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny and calm with high temperatures in the mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Moving down the Willamette Valley with decreasing clouds becoming mostly sunny and mid-60s from Salem down through Eugene with some early patchy fog around Albany and lows in the low 40s. Mostly sunny skies today across central Oregon with daytime highs in the low to mid-60s for Prineville, Bend, and Sun River. A sunny day on tap for Boise, Idaho with a high temperature in the mid-60s. Along the Oregon coast, patchy fog, then sunny in low 60s in Coos Bay. Sunny to mostly sunny for Port Orford and Brookings with highs in the upper 50s and Crescent City, California near 60. In southern Oregon, some early patchy fog in the Rogue Valley, then sunny in low 70s for Grants Pass and Medford and near 69 in Ashland. Sunny skies for the Klamath Basin with highs in the mid-60s. Into northern California, sunny with highs in the upper 60s for Wairika. Sunshine continues moving south with highs near 77 in Redding and Chico, and patchy fog in Fort Bragg, then sunny with a high in the mid-50s. In the Bay Area, patchy morning fog from Santa Rosa and Napa down through San Jose, then sunny with highs in the low to mid-70s, but sunny in San Francisco with a high temperature near 68. For Central California, sunny skies with pleasant temperatures in the mid-70s from Sacramento down through Stockton, Fresno, and Bakersfield, with a light northwest wind this afternoon and lows in the low 50s. It's a look at your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op.
day.
Yeah, isn't that nice? A nice little slide into this segment as we look back on this day at a routine island flight in 1988 that turned into one of the most incredible survival stories in aviation history.
Aloha Airlines Flight 243 was cruising at 24,000 feet over Hawaii when, without warning, an 18-foot section of the aircraft's roof ripped away. The explosive decompression exposed part of the cabin to open sky, sending hurricane-force winds tearing through the plane. Flight attendant Clarabelle Lansing was tragically swept from the aircraft while passengers struggled to breathe and hold on as debris flew around them. In the cockpit, Captain Robert Schornsteimer could barely hear over the roar, but he began an emergency descent, guiding the crippled jet toward Maui. For 13 terrifying minutes, the plane flew with catastrophic damage, held together by little more than its floor structure. Against all odds, it landed safely at Kahului Airport. Investigators later called it one of the most remarkable landings ever, and that no airplane had ever landed with that amount of damage. A moment of tragedy and extraordinary skill.
Oh, I'll never forget that.
I'll never. Those pictures shows that one line that was going from the roof.
Yeah.
If that line had broken, they had all been done.
Oh, it was amazing.
That line was the control line of many of the controls of the aircraft.
Oh, and then the only thing holding the plane together were the floorboards.
Yeah,
imagine.
It was an amazing.
And that guy brought it down.
Yeah, he did.
Man,
reminds me of Shelley.
Oh, Captain Sully. Yes.
Sully.
Yes.
HMS Sully.
Yes.
Landing in the Hudson.
You know what? You're right. I was looking at this story and I thought the very same thing.
Landing in the Hudson.
Yep.
With airplanes, you got seconds to make decisions. You know.
24,000 feet, decompression. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Whoa.
All right. So earlier, you and I were kind of kidding around about people that give up.
Yeah.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't give up. Right. Sharon Cooper from Crossways shares how to stay faithful in your race. Stay steady. And here's what she had to say.
I just turned 50. My husband and I just turned 50 in February, and I don't know what it is, but I think when you get to this age, you just really start to reflect on the seasons of life. And I've only run one marathon, but I distinctly remember the different sections of the marathon and how it felt. There were times when I just wanted to stop, but I thought, okay, if I keep on putting one foot in front of the other, I will eventually get to the finish line. Life is so much like that. I think about the season of being a teenager and looking forward to going to college. And then I think back to my college years and wondering, would I get married? Would I get the job that I want? And then the season of parenting young children. All of these seasons are designed to produce something. And in every season, God has used my circumstances to make me into the person I am now, and He's going to continue doing that. So every season is a step along this beautiful journey. But there are hard points, you know. I remember in the marathon, there was a point where I felt like I couldn't breathe very well. And in those times, I always think back to Hebrews 12. Right at the beginning of chapter 12 of Hebrews, it says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before Him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God." I think about that almost every day, actually. I say to myself when I'm dealing with something hard, for the joy set before Him, He endured the cross. For the joy set before Him, He endured the cross. And so for the joy set before me, which is to someday see His face, to someday be in the presence of God, I will endure whatever the hard thing is right now. It is His victory that gives us strength. And so in every season of life, we need to trust that He is using it to make us into the kind of people who will endure to the end.
Every once in a while, you need to hear that stuff. Yeah. You know, read Hebrews 11. You know, the great cloud of witnesses. You know, those who've gone on before, and that their faithfulness was credited to them as righteousness.
Yeah.
You know, so stay faithful. All right, we'll take a quick break. We're going to be faithful to. Well, it's not here. The blueberry pie.
I know.
We're imagining it.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express. Breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why McKelly's is automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
Whoa, how much time here? Oh, I don't know if we're going to have time to do this. Oh,
yeah, I think.
Okay, I'll squeeze it in. Mark Little, we have him on quite a bit, Pastor Mark Little. And we've been talking about Israel a lot lately in our interviews back and forth. And I asked him a question off the wall that kind of stunned him. And it set him back, but he got what I was going for. And here's the answer. And I asked him the question, have you been accused of being a Christian Zionist? Here's what he said.
Well, it's worse than that. I actually had called myself a Christian Zionist until I began to study. I used to call myself a Christian Zionist. And in this podcast episode, I conclude for everyone that God doesn't need a political movement to protect what He reserved. And so I only need one title, and that is a follower of Jesus Christ. So that's a great question. And I lovingly challenge folks about how they're following Scripture and how they're following the Word of God, and really understanding what it is He's saying and doing, and being very careful about really putting ourselves in a position to believe that somehow we can do more and greater to protect Israel than God can. I mean, we look at the history of the wars around Israel, and how could such a land be in such conflict? When you look around the world, why this land? Well, that's obvious, because it's God's portion. And by the way, it's much bigger than the land that we're talking about today. The Word tells us what the land is, that it gives us the boundaries. It tells us what it is that He gave to the descendants of Abraham. That's the geographical promise. Of course, there's a seed promise. But absolutely, Perry, we've got to be very careful. And we have to study. We have to get in the Word. We have to understand, what does the Word say? Like, as an example, here we are in Iran and Israel. We're having this war. They don't want to call it a war. It's a war. And they want to have a war so that they can rebuild the third temple, not understanding that Jesus Christ was the third temple. We just got people that are saying stuff, and they haven't been in their Word. And that is one of the challenges in the culture, false teaching.
There you go. All right, take with you today a great scripture, Matthew 7:7. This is for you today. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. That's your promise today. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
So loved he the world, he gave us his son.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
Being in business is challenging. At Network in Action Southern Oregon, we're all about real connection and real growth. We value your time with once-a-month meetings and believe in transformational relationships rather than transactional ones. We have 3 groups in the Valley, a Christian group, a Medford group, and a Grants Pass group, all filled with amazing local professionals. Network in Action Southern Oregon, so much more than just networking. Find out more at sonetworking.com.
Jerry's Historical Archives. Moments to remember. Go back in time. Back in the day. TV shows of the past. Relive the past and learn something new. Open up Jerry's Historical Archives. Weekdays only on Mornings on the Dove.
Today, become a farmer with the Dove. Plant a seed, help it grow.
Let's grow something eternal together.
Give today at the Dove.
Morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. This is Jerry Bilden's Believe It or Not Hour. He makes it up, and you have to believe it.
Believe it or not.
That's up to you.
Many are not. That's good.
Anyway, we'll give you an hour to figure that out.
Yes, indeed.
Anyway, good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. A lot going on in the news. We'll have that for you. The weather is absolutely spectacular. It doesn't get any better than this.
Well, and then that we can believe.
That we can believe. Yeah. We'll prove that to you. There's moments where he's actually correct.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we like those moments.
Anyway, good morning to you. Just a great morning. I was looking out our window there. When you see the sunshine, you kind of go, yahoo. Yeah. You know, good stuff. We're slowly on a warming trend. But this morning was chilly. I left my house. It was 36.
Yep. My little snowflake dinged on my dashboard. It's like, oh, it's cold out there.
Cold out there. Anyway, good morning to you. What do you got, man?
Well, it is, first of all, National Superhero Day. It honors superheroes, both real and fictional. And of course, we all kind of think of the fictionals, Superman. Who's your superhero? But it really goes beyond that, because there are real superheroes out there who put their lives on the line for us. We think of first responders, law enforcement officers, and officials, and so whoever comes to your mind, that's good enough. We honor you. Also, National Bravehearts Day, to honor the bravery of families dealing with childhood cancer, something that has touched all of us. And so, again, we honor those families as well. It's National Great Poetry Reading Day. What? Are people reading poetry anymore?
Well, I don't know. I told you the other day I came across the Cowboy Poet channel.
I love this, yes.
It was in Elko, Nevada. They have the Cowboy Poets Jamboree there every year.
Yeah.
And I met some other cowboy poet friend of mine last week, 2 weekends ago. We were talking about it. And I tell you, it was absolutely a hoot. I sat there and watched that thing for at least an hour.
Oh, I love that.
They sing them, they play them. Some of them just have a guitar they never play. It's just a prop.
Yeah.
And the stories that these poems are, the poetry, is just hilarious. It's just wonderful. Some of them are serious, but most of them are really entertaining.
Cowboys are an interesting breed of folks. They do the tough work that needs to go on in ranches.
Yeah.
They express their creative side with colorful poetry.
Right.
And then they disrupt parades like crazy. Now, if you've ever been in a marching band, marching bands are rank and file. It's just like military. Everything's aligned.
And then you're behind the cowboys and their horses.
And all of a sudden you see the ranks are parting because there are horses in the parade. I'm telling you, I have walked around more piles in a parade than anything. So anyway.
Well, see, you got to have a rope. You got to have the Levi's. You got to have the belt and the big buckle. You got to have the spurs, the boots, and certainly you got to have the hat.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yes.
And then you got to drink black coffee that was cooked over an open fire and beans that were burned, right? And then the stories begin.
And then and sometimes through poetry.
Yeah,
yes, I love it. All right. Also, National School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. Seems like we've had this just recently. I guess school bus drivers need a lot of appreciation, so we will give it as they carry our precious young ones to and fro from school. And when you see those blinking lights, get ready to stop. Don't get ready to step on it to get around them.
People still ignore all that.
Absolutely. And then one last thing. We are eating good today. It is National Blueberry Pie Day. And of course, blueberries are abundant in Maine, so it's no surprise that blueberry pie is the state's official dessert. And blueberry pie comes in many styles, including classic double crust, single crust, or open-faced mini pies, and no-bake chilled pies. And of course, the key ingredient are blueberries, one of the healthiest fruits on the market, low in calories, high in nutrients, full of antioxidants. This nutrient berry helps inhibit cancer development, and eating blueberries may assist in maintaining healthy blood pressure, reduce blood sugar, and ease symptoms of depression. All the things you get from watching mainstream media news. It's countered with
Well, there
blueberries.
you go.
Yes. Native to North America, blueberries have been consumed for over 13,000 years, and indigenous peoples often use them as food, medicine, and dyes. And it is the blue in the blueberries that is actually the antioxidant that is so good for you. So enjoy your blueberries today.
And that's from Maine.
And therefore, the wild blueberries, there's a huge section through Maine. Wild blueberries grow abundantly, and they're a very hardy bush. They take all kinds of adverse conditions, and the wild blueberries are smaller than the cultivated blueberries, which are bigger and more white. And they also have more antioxidants in them because there's more skin.
Well, you're just like full of information there.
I'm full of blueberries too, by the way.
Well, one of my favorite cooking shows is called The Lost Kitchen.
Okay.
But they haven't made any new episodes lately. In Maine, in Freedom, Maine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there was an episode where she went to the blueberries and picked them.
No kidding.
Yeah, and came back and made stuff with them.
You know, I was looking, I wanted to get some wild blueberry harvesting footage for this, and I couldn't find any. I want to see how they go out there, and because the different sections of the bush have different blueberries. The top ones tend to be bigger and sweeter, and the bottom ones don't get as much sunshine. They're a little different. So I want to see how they do all this.
You ever see how they pick them?
No.
You got this little thing there. like that.
Really?
Yeah. And then they fall off in this little
That's
thing.
the footage I wanted.
Okay,
but anyway, enjoy however you pick them.
Here's what happens when you don't have antioxidants in your food.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, starting off cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny and calm with high temperatures in the mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Moving down the Willamette Valley with decreasing clouds becoming mostly sunny in mid-60s from Salem down through Eugene with some early patchy fog around Albany and lows in the low 40s. Mostly sunny skies today across central Oregon with daytime highs in the low to mid-60s for Prineville, Bend, and Sun River. A sunny day on tap for Boise, Idaho with a high temperature in the mid-60s. Along the Oregon coast, patchy fog, then sunny in low 60s in Coos Bay. Sunny to mostly sunny for Port Orford and Brookings with highs in the upper 50s, and Crescent City, California near 60. In southern Oregon, some early patchy fog in the Rogue Valley, then sunny in low 70s for Grants Pass and Medford and near 69 in Ashland. Sunny skies for the Klamath Basin with highs in the mid-60s. Into northern California, sunny with highs in the upper 60s for Wairika. Sunshine continues moving south with highs near 77 in Redding and Chico, and patchy fog in Fort Bragg, then sunny with a high in the mid-50s. In the Bay Area, patchy morning fog from Santa Rosa and Napa down through San Jose, then sunny with highs in the low to mid-70s, but sunny in San Francisco with a high temperature near 68. For Central California, sunny skies with pleasant temperatures in the mid-70s from Sacramento down through Stockton, Fresno, and Bakersfield with a light northwest wind this afternoon and lows in the low 50s. It's a look at your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood. The sun is up and shining. Trust that you are too. That's looking northeast from Roxanne, which is on the east side of the Rogue Valley, and that is Mount McLaughlin, better known as Mount Pitt.
Yes, indeed.
Out there. What a beautiful shot this morning.
Man, you can see right from that shot, it is going to be a beautiful Tuesday in the neighborhood.
There you go.
Oh, man. All right. Well, time for some encouragement here with an illustration with some of our favorites, at least for some of us, our favorite Bible hero, as Pastor Jack Graham illustrates through Peter. Let's listen in.
You see, Jesus is the only one who can cleanse our sin and wash away our iniquity. There's no other name given among men whereby we must be saved. Jesus says in John 14:6 in this same upper room, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me. The only way to be cleansed, the only way to be forgiven, the only way to be saved is through the blood of Jesus Christ. 1 John 5:13, these things are written, God's word, what he said, who believe on the name of the Son of God, that you may know that you have eternal life. And if you, like Simon Peter, have confessed him as your Savior and Lord, you are clean. You are saved, and you, and you, and you. And then Jesus says, if I've done this to you, as your example, verse 15, that you do just as I have done to you. Truly, truly, I say to you, verse 16, a servant is no greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. And I love verse 17. Mark it in your Bibles. If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them.
You know, the whole scene in John 13, Jesus in the upper room with his disciples.
Yeah.
And there's just so much going on up there. But I've often thought, what an amazing thing that Jesus took the towel and washed Judas's feet, knowing what he was going to do. Now, I don't know, I probably would have bit his big toe or something. But he also washed Peter's feet, knowing he was going to deny him 3 times.
Right, and it's interesting as we look at Peter, we oftentimes get great encouragement through Peter and watching his example as he had some failings.
Oh, boy.
And the Lord had such patience with him.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the impetuousness of Peter and you think, oh man, God can use us even in Peter's state. And even when he fired himself and went fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Lord said, yeah, you can't fire yourself. I didn't fire you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. All right, good morning to you. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. And kind of interesting, at 11 and a half minutes now past the hour, the King and the Queen are now in town. They showed up yesterday, and this is so interesting. As you know, the United States this year on July 4th will celebrate 250 years since we broke away from King George III. And in the meantime, King Charles III and the Queen show up yesterday in Washington, D.C. They're here to kind of help the rift between the United States and the UK over the issues including the war in Iran and kind of soften things up a little bit. So the King and the Queen are here for 4 days. He is scheduled to do a joint session of Congress. Now, this hasn't been done since 1991 when the Queen addressed the joint session. Mm-hmm. So he's going to address the joint session. I have no idea what the message is going to be. Mm-hmm. As you know, he's a little bit on the woke side on a lot of things.
Yes, he is.
And I don't know if that's going to be the center of his message, environmentalism, and we all need to kind of, kiss and get along here. I don't know.
Speaking of kissing and get along, does he think he has any kind of messaging from Prime Minister Starmer?
Well, see, Starmer's the problem.
Yes.
They have this. How Starmer ever became the prime minister is yet to be seen. You got to remember the King and the Queen have no political power.
Right.
But they're great influencers.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. And the Queen was very good at it. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But Starmer is the problem. I mean, I think the UK is in serious trouble if they don't get rid of that guy and get somebody else in there.
Yeah.
They're on the verge of losing a lot of things. And so the King is coming over. It's all diplomacy.
Yeah.
Should be interesting to see. I look forward to the speech.
I have another question. Okay, he's over here, and it's very diplomatic, as you mentioned, a lot of diplomacy.
They took a walk in the garden yesterday. Can you imagine? Excuse me. Can you imagine, though? 12 hours before, the president was almost assassinated.
Yes.
12 hours later, he's walking with the King and the Queen of England through the backyard of the White House.
Say anything you want about this president. He is resilient. Oh, my goodness.
That's just so amazing.
Yeah, in fact, the night of the dinner, he didn't want to stop.
No, he wanted
to keep going. Yeah, let's go. Hey, I haven't given my speech yet.
Maybe he wasn't supposed to give that speech.
And speaking of the diplomacy involved with the King, obviously some strained relationships in some sense between the Prime Minister and the President, but also a strained relationship in his own family. Is he going to go to the West Coast and visit his strained relationship son? Yeah.
Well, that would be interesting. I don't know even if his son's going to go to Washington, D.C. and meet up with his dad. I mean, that whole thing is... As I said earlier, I was on the phone the other day with Kevin Lehman, Dr. Kevin Lehman. He's well known all over the world.
Yeah.
He writes a book on Have a New Kid by Friday.
Yeah.
I kidded with him. I said, if I got you in to be the mediator between the King and his two sons, he said, yeah, I'll do it. And I said, well, then you could write a book, Have a New King by Friday. But anyway, it would. Why can't these guys kind of kiss and make up and get the axe buried and move on here?
Yeah, you know what that made me think of? We have a new king by Friday. We have all these no kings rallies here.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be spreading through England.
I could say. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Okay, in the meantime, big clash at the UN is the United States and Iran Monday, where the Iran's nuclear program and its selection, Iran is being selected to be one of the dozens of vice presidents as a month-long conference to review the nuclear non-proliferation treaty. And Iran's going to be a part of that committee?
Oh, come on. They're part of the Human Rights Committee as well. The UN has no credibility. They have lost their way.
They've lost their way.
Yes.
Don't you know that's going to be the next Trump Tower?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But look, I don't know why we're part of this. This needs to go away. I think it's on the agenda. It's just not high on the agenda.
See that? You're right, though. It could be the Trump Tower. See that room they're in there, the General Assembly?
Yeah.
A new ballroom.
Well, I don't know. You've been there.
Yeah.
I've been inside the foyer and came out, and I got in as far as a non-anybody could go, which is about 10 feet.
Okay.
Before you're turned around and sent back out again, you know.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway.
All right.
In the meantime, back to what happened Saturday night. The young man, Cole Thomas Allen, is the gentleman that apparently was trying to assassinate the president. He was brought up on charges yesterday, and here's Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche to explain the charges.
Today, the Department of Justice filed 3 federal charges in United States District Court against Cole Thomas Allen. The first count is attempted assassination of the President of the United States. This count is punishable by up to life in prison. The second count is interstate transportation of a firearm to commit a felony. This is punishable by up to 10 years in prison. And the third count is discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence, which is punishable by a mandatory minimum term of imprisonment of 10 years, a maximum of life, and the 10 years is consecutive to any other sentence imposed.
Okay, and those are the charges as of yesterday when he was arraigned. So apparently there are more charges coming as Judge Jeannie now. Well, she's not a judge. What is she now? She's
Judge Jeannie. She's now prosecutor.
Prosecutor.
Yeah.
Federal prosecutor in the city of D.C. So she's apparently got her own charges coming after him.
Yeah. Yes.
And there may be some connections going on. This young guy may have been connected with people. There's evidence coming out that this thing may be bigger than just one person.
You know, that's those questions usually arise after something like this. Is like, was there anybody else involved?
Yeah.
What are the connections?
Yeah.
Was this actually a conspiracy?
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, the whole discussion yesterday across all the networks was the rhetoric in the United States, the high temperature of calling the president every name in the book and accusing him of every crime in the book.
Yes.
And primarily coming from the left, and the left now is pushing back.
And the left openly wishing that this president would die. Period.
It's obviously very evident. And again, I think the only way you can stay sane through this, it's my opinion, so my opinion is worth nothing, but I've learned through the hard way that the Democrats get an A+ in, by the way, our good friend, your good friend, Alan Dershowitz.
Yeah, what about him?
You know, he left the Democratic Party and became independent.
Right.
Now he's announced he's becoming a Republican.
I wonder what motivated him.
He says that the Democratic, you know, let me just say this about the Democrats, the good ones that are in the party.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yes.
Become independent.
Right.
But you're being led over the cliff here.
Yep.
And anyway, they get an A+. The D's get an A+ in blaming you for what they do.
Exactly.
Here's a classic example of Hakeem Jeffries yesterday, who's the minority leader in the House, complaining that he was being complained about by the White House press secretary for the rhetoric. Kind of interesting twist, but here it is.
The notion that any of us are concerned with so-called criticism from these phony Republicans as it relates to anything that has been said, certainly as it relates to the comment related to maximum warfare everywhere, all the time, in connection with the redistricting battle that Republicans launched. I stand by it. You can continue to criticize me for it. I don't give a damn about your criticism. First of all, that phrase, maximum warfare, everywhere, all the time, came from the White House in the summer of 2025, when they started this redistricting battle. And now they're big mad. Why? Because Democrats have decided to finish it. Get lost.
Okay, so look, this is actually getting worse instead of better.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and in the meantime, you know, Jimmy Kimmel, late night guy, he made a comment. It staggers me that how could humor be applied to this comment? He was doing a stand-up monologue, and he basically says that Melania Trump has a little twinkle in her eye and it reflects that she's to be an expected widow. That was said on the day before the assassination attempt. Ironic, I don't know, but the point being is that he's taking a lot of heat for it. And the First Lady went on, social media. She went on Truth and she went on X and said that Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric intended to divide the country. His monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are coercive and deepens the political sickness within America. And she went on to talk about people like him should never have the opportunity to enter our homes on a daily basis. Okay, so in the meantime, there's calls out to ABC, who's owned by Disney, or Disney owns ABC, to censure this guy. He was not on a show last night, but he's probably expected to be back there today. He's basically ignoring it and said the latest criticism was just a soft roast. And so he's trying to make fun of it. To your point is, all right, he has a right to do what he wants to do, even though I don't like what he's saying. That's called First Amendment. But his show is in the tank. I'd fire him over the fact that his ratings are nothing.
The whole thing with late night TV has changed, and we've talked about it a lot, with the Lenos and the Carsons and those folks, when it was funny, when you could tune in and you weren't offended by anything. But now the whole premise, the whole format has changed. It's not funny. He's not funny. They're losing money. That's enough to get rid of him.
Well, unfortunate, the whole thing. I guess the bottom line, from what I sense, is the rhetoric's probably going to get worse.
Yeah, I think so.
Are we ready for this?
Right.
Gosh. Part of it, if you read the rules for radical, you'll understand the motive behind it. If they can sicken the political, let me back up. If they can sicken you as a citizen to think that public service is nothing more than hard knock, bloodletting politics, in some cases it really is.
Yes.
Then you tune out and you disengage and you don't vote, they win and take control.
Yep.
That's actually part of their motive.
Yep.
So when you understand that, then you realize something I'm about to tell you after we come back from a break.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
That's a cliffhanger.
Yeah. So are antioxidants and blueberries. We'll be right back.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
To all our moms of all ages, a very happy Mother's Day from the Dove TV.
Welcome back. 25 minutes past the hour on this beautiful Tuesday morning. A couple of backyard stories. The Federal Appeals Court grants unrestricted use of crowd control weapons at the Portland ICE building. This is a reversal after 2 previous district court judges ruled against the federal government protecting its own building. In other words, you can throw bombs at it, burn it down, doing nothing.
Right.
And the federal agencies couldn't do a thing about it.
They can't do any. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
well, that's been reversed. So after 2 rulings from lower court judges, another judge steps in and said, no, you can do that, including tear gas.
Yeah, good.
So this is the federal buildings in
you know
now,
what?
There's a rumor out there that they couldn't use the Oregon National Guard, but it didn't say they couldn't use the California National Guard.
Right. Yeah. And speaking of California, this is good. This is on the heels of the decision against Gavin Newsom when he was trying to co-opt the ICE and demask them and identify them and do all this stuff. So, yeah, the rule of law is playing out here.
Well, yeah, I sure hope they can recover Portland. What a beautiful city that's gone crazy.
Yeah.
Seattle, Portland, San Francisco. Gosh, when are the citizens going to push back and get their city back? All right, thought I'd let you know that today, not tomorrow, not Thursday. Today is the last day to register to vote in the state of Oregon. And if you don't know if you're registered, find out today and get re-registered today. If you don't like the way you're registered because of the ballot you got last time, then re-register. If your name has changed, re-register. If you moved, register. If you died, let them know that you're not there anymore.
Yes.
But today is the day to re-register.
Yeah.
And it's very important. And I would say this, if you don't register and you don't vote, you forfeit your right to complain.
There you go. Perfect.
I mean, I did that years ago when I was doing just talk radio. They'd call in and I'd say, are you registered to vote? And I said, no, then you don't have a right to say anything, and hang up on them.
Wait a minute. I love this.
Yeah.
How long did that last?
Not long.
How long did you do talk radio?
Well, I did talk radio for years, but...
Taking calls?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know, we had Talk of the Valley.
Oh, man.
And I did radio for years, and so... but they'd call in and I'd say, you registered to vote? Yes. Okay, what do you got to say? And they let them go. But if they say, no, I'm not registered to vote, and I said, then you don't have a right to talk.
It's like complaint letters or emails, right?
I get a lot of them, and the first thing I do when I open them up, send letters, is if they don't sign them, I throw them away.
Yeah.
If they send me an email and I can't trace it and their name isn't on it, I throw it away.
Good policy.
But if they send me a letter and it's nasty, I'll read it. Sometimes I respond, sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
But if they took the time to read it and put their name to it, I'll write it. I'll take the time to read it.
If they'll own up to it, it's worth reading. Yeah, I like that. That's good.
All right, folks. By the way, you got your voter's pamphlet. Read this thing. It really is good. Take your time to study it and read it, especially the issues. As we get a little closer to May 19th, we'll zero in on some of those issues.
Okay.
But we're under a regime right now that wants to raise taxes on everything. I'm surprised they haven't figured out a way to tax oxygen.
Well, give them time.
Give them time.
Yeah.
But we need to be aware of that. So today, if you want to be active and you want to be a good citizen, you want to be a responsible citizen, and you want to do your Christian civic duty, register to vote.
All right.
Did I make that clear enough?
You did.
Okay, let's take a look at Wall Street. What's happening? Thank you, Preston. Over there at Smart Lawn. If you're smart, you'll call Preston, and your new lawnmower will be a blower.
That's one.
Okay, Dow is up 56. However, the Nas is not happy this morning, down 209. Well, now there's a split we haven't seen in a long time. The S&P is off about 37, almost 38 points. So 1 foot on the gas, 2 feet on the brakes this morning. That has taken gold and pushed it down to 46. Silver's down to 72. And look at crude oil. We haven't seen that figure in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're back to $110.12 a barrel. That translates into you're not going out this weekend.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, and I'm about ready for a fill, too.
There you go.
Question. Are we like doing half fills these days, waiting for the price to come down, hoping that it'll come down so you're not filling your...
It's so interesting you'd say that, because the other day I was really low.
Okay,
I'm stretching it.
Right, okay.
And I thought, I don't think I can pass this gas station to go to the one I want to.
To get the price you want, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I actually got 2 gallons at this station
Did you really?
So I could drive to this one and fill up.
I love it. Yes.
I don't know why I'm hung up on that. It's just one of those things in my brain I can't get out.
I am with you. I am with you.
So I bought 2 gallons to drive about 3 miles to fill up.
I can't tell you how angry I was with myself.
Yeah.
We're driving down. I've got my oldest with me. We're heading down through L.A.
Yeah.
And I'm heading towards Arizona.
Right.
And I'm getting low. And I'm like, I'm getting near the Arizona border, but I'm wondering if I can get there. And I can't. So I pull in California gas station. I fill up. I drive literally just a few miles across the border. And gas prices are so significantly less. I was angry until I got home. Oh, it was terrible. But are we filling up? No, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not. I'm buying X amount of dollars worth. I don't look at it in gallons anymore. I'll say, well, I'll take $50
now it's
worth.
back to price, right?
So you're managing cash flow instead of gallons.
You know what?
Yeah.
As you're filling up, if you're filling up your own, and you see the price going, don't look at the gallons. You're only going to get really upset.
Yeah, you got.
Oh my goodness!
You got to remember what everybody's telling us. So this is temporary.
Oh, keep telling us. We need a reminder. Okay.
All right.
Moving on. Steel. The steel, especially looking at the markets right now. We're looking at the Trump administration declared steel a national security commodity, and U.S. Steel CEO David Burritt has struck a major partnership deal with Nippon Steel, and he discussed this on the Clayman Countdown.
We're patriots. We're here for America, and we do what's right for America. I think the tone that they've set with this, and also the Golden Chair director that we have, he's very bright, very engaged, looking for opportunities for America. And of course, with the name United States, that means great opportunities for us. So from the very beginning, once this overcame the CFIUS hurdles and we got through the negotiations with President Trump and the master negotiator he is, of course, with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, we got a good deal, not just for the United States, but also for U.S. Steel and also for Nippon. So it is a win-win-win. We do believe when you have an essential industry, this is national security, but I think of it as self-sufficiency. Just imagine if we didn't make steel here in the United States. And as we know, more than half of the steel in the world is made by China. And a lot of that seeps into the United States even now, and we actually have to file these suits to make sure that we get fairness. We don't want more than fairness. We want a level playing field, and then we can compete with anybody. And I think over time we're getting that. We're clearly showing the commitment to fair trade. We used to talk about free trade all the time. It's just like free trade is kind of like free lunch. It's not really that way. You have to dig into the details and understand what really matters.
Well, when the president went after the steel industry to bring it back, it was just one of those duh things, Yeah. And it's a good thing because it is a national security issue.
Absolutely.
No question about it. All right, we'll take a quick national security break.
Your yard is where life happens, but it can be muddy and hard to maintain. Enjoy a maintenance-free artificial turf lawn all year round with Smart Lawn LLC. No mowing, no fertilizing, no watering. Our synthetic grass is beautiful and resilient. It's certified to be lead-free, and there's no need for pesticides. Safe for your children and pets. Smart Lawn LLC has all your artificial turf and putting green areas covered beautifully. 541-941-3538.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon.
Mornings on the Dove covers issues affecting you.
But we also take the time to have some fun and laugh.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
And these days, we all need encouragement. Count on Mornings on the Dove to deliver just that from God's Word.
Along with the day's forecast and interesting stories from Jerry's historical archives.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
Join us for Mornings on the Dove. Weekdays on the Dove TV, radio, and streaming. Okay, good morning. Welcome back. 24 minutes before the hour on a beautiful Tuesday. And maybe you want to go golfing?
Yeah.
Or you can land an airplane there.
Yeah, either way.
Either way.
It does.
Maybe you just want to get out of town and go. You know.
Who mowed that?
I did.
It looks perfect.
You know, I'm one of those guys. This is no joke.
Okay.
If I ever retire, I think I would just like mowing lawns at a golf course.
That is so funny that you say that, because there is almost nothing I enjoy more than getting on my mower and mowing around the yard. It's my new slogan. It's like, if mowing your lawn doesn't bring you joy, you have the wrong lawnmower.
There you go. I just think, I could just mow. It's one of those things you can look back and see something accomplished.
Absolutely. And getting the rows right.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, there's some order to it. It's wonderful.
Yeah. What was the movie where Tom Hanks, he was the...
Oh, you mean Forrest Gump?
Forrest Gump. And he's on this little snapper mower out there mowing the golf course. No, he was mowing the football field.
Yeah.
He was going up and back.
Right.
I get it. I can do that.
Yes. But one thing Forrest Gump did that we're not going to do. We're not going to show the president our wound.
Oh. That was President Johnson, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, or Kennedy. I don't know. One of them. Yeah.
Well, speaking of which,
I think it was Johnson.
Is the United States and Iran going to talk or not talk?
I
don't know. Let's check in with CBN News and find out.
President Donald Trump called off plans to send U.S. envoys to Pakistan for talks with Iran as negotiations break down. Speaking on Fox News, Trump underscored America's position.
Well, we have all the cards. If they want to talk, they can come to us or they can call us.
Today, Iran floated a new proposal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and end the conflict, while postponing nuclear negotiations to a later stage. U.S. officials rejected the plan, saying it could weaken Washington's leverage, particularly efforts to curb Iran's nuclear ambitions. The administration signaled it intends to maintain the naval blockade, pressuring Iran's oil exports. Iran's president is demanding Washington lift the blockade before negotiations can resume, calling it a clear breach of the ceasefire understandings. Meanwhile, in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he was shocked by the attempted assassination of President Donald Trump, condemning political violence and expressing gratitude that the president and First Lady were unharmed. Turning to the north, Netanyahu reaffirmed his government's determination to confront Hezbollah.
In the last 2 weeks, we have eliminated 46 terrorists, and we will act with a strong hand and an outstretched arm because we are not willing to accept this lawlessness.
At the same time, former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett and Yair Lapid announced a new political alliance.
I am taking the most Zionist and most patriotic step we have ever taken for the sake of our country. This evening, we are uniting and establishing the Together Party under my leadership.
This alliance comes after their 2021 coalition ended a decade of rule by Netanyahu, with Bennett serving first as prime minister. Now their renewed partnership aims to challenge Netanyahu's leadership in the elections expected later this year.
And Joshua Swanson joins us now with more. So what more can you tell us about Iran's offer to the United States and why it was rejected?
Well, what we're learning is that Iran is trying to change the order of negotiations in a way that could lead to a faster deal, but not necessarily a more comprehensive one. So according to U.S. officials, Iran's proposal focuses first on reopening the Strait of Hormuz and ending the current conflict while kicking the nuclear can down the road. So that's significant because Iran's leadership appears divided over how much it's willing to concede on its nuclear program, including uranium enrichment. Now, from Washington's perspective, that's the core issue. President Donald Trump has made it clear that preventing Iran from advancing toward a nuclear weapon is a red line, and accepting Iran's proposal, lifting the blockade and easing pressure could remove the very leverage that the U.S. is using to force those concessions later.
Does Iran seem to be worried about the impact of the blockade?
Yes. So, well, if you listen to President Trump, the answer is a resounding yes. The president claimed he holds all the cards, warning that Iran's oil infrastructure could collapse within days as U.S. destroyers continue to turn back dozens of tankers. So since April 13th, when the blockade started, the U.S. Navy has stopped 37 vessels. And in one recent incident, the U.S. Navy, a helicopter actually, from a guided missile destroyer intercepted the Savon, which was a Panama-flagged liquefied petroleum gas tanker. Now, U.S. CENTCOM says that vessel's among the 19 sanctioned Iranian shadow fleet. So the U.S. military is still firmly in control. But if you look at the moves coming out of Tehran, the picture is far more defiant. The Iranian foreign minister landed in Moscow today following a high-stakes diplomatic marathon through Pakistan and Oman. His mission, a bold three-phase peace proposal effective. We aren't basically saying we aren't blinking. So Tehran says they won't talk with a gun to their head. Washington says they won't put the gun down until the deal is signed. So the world is watching to see who blinks first. Ephraim?
Indeed. Let's talk about Israel versus Hezbollah. What is happening there?
Yeah, what we're seeing along Israel's northern border right now is a controlled but ongoing escalation between Israel and Hezbollah. In the past day, the IDF carried out airstrikes in southern Lebanon. They killed 3 Hezbollah operatives who were near Israeli troops. Israeli forces, of course, struck several Hezbollah sites, including what was described as a headquarters site in Bint Jabil, which has been a heavy conflict area. On the ground, Israeli troops are continuing to uncover Hezbollah infrastructure embedded within civilian areas. We've seen that playbook before. In one operation, forces found a weapons cache hidden inside a child's bedroom, in fact, underneath stuffed animals. That included rifles and grenades. So the IDF says it has dismantled more than about 50 terror sites in recent days. Now, Hezbollah is also continuing its attacks on the IDF. They launched an explosive drone towards Israeli troops. So overall, this remains a tense and very active front.
Is Hezbollah still rejecting talks between Israel and Lebanon?
Yes, Hezbollah is making it very clear that it still rejects any talks between Israel and Lebanon, and its position has not softened. Hezbollah's leader, Naim Qassem, is strongly opposing Lebanon's reported plans for any sort of direct negotiations with Israel. He's calling the move a grave sin and warning that it could destabilize the country. He categorically rejected any direct negotiations with Israel and stated that they will not benefit Lebanon. And he even went further to say that the group will continue what it calls its defensive resistance. So, bottom line, Hezbollah is not just rejecting talks, it's actively trying to delegitimize them.
Well, it's hard for us to believe that some of that military strategy is to hide in hospitals and schools and under kids' beds. It's just it's a mindset that we can't wrap our head around. So, all right, let's check out the weather with a guy that we just can't get our head around.
I knew it.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, starting off cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny and calm with high temperatures in the mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Moving down the Willamette Valley with decreasing clouds becoming mostly sunny in mid-60s from Salem down through Eugene with some early patchy fog around Albany and lows in the low 40s. Mostly sunny skies today across central Oregon with daytime highs in the low to mid-60s for Prineville, Bend, and Sun River. A sunny day on tap for Boise, Idaho with a high temperature in the mid-60s. Along the Oregon coast, patchy fog, then sunny in low 60s in Coos Bay. Sunny to mostly sunny for Port Orford and Brookings with highs in the upper 50s and Crescent City, California near 60. In southern Oregon, some early patchy fog in the Rogue Valley, then sunny and low 70s for Grants Pass and Medford and near 69 in Ashland. Sunny skies for the Klamath Basin with highs in the mid-60s. Into Northern California, sunny with highs in the upper 60s for Wairika. Sunshine continues moving south with highs near 77 in Redding and Chico, and patchy fog in Fort Bragg, then sunny with a high in the mid-50s. In the Bay Area, patchy morning fog from Santa Rosa and Napa down through San Jose, then sunny with highs in the low to mid-70s, but sunny in San Francisco with a high temperature near 68. For Central California, sunny skies with pleasant temperatures in the mid-70s from Sacramento down through Stockton, Fresno, and Bakersfield, with a light northwest wind this afternoon and lows in the low 50s. It's a look at your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op.
And time for a look back today, back to 1988 as a routine island flight turned into one of the most incredible survival stories in aviation history.
Aloha Airlines Flight 243 was cruising at 24,000 feet over Hawaii when, without warning, an 18-foot section of the aircraft's roof ripped away. The explosive decompression exposed part of the cabin to open sky, sending hurricane-force winds tearing through the plane. Flight attendant Clarabelle Lansing was tragically swept from the aircraft, while passengers struggled to breathe and hold on as debris flew around them. In the cockpit, Captain Robert Schornsteimer could barely hear over the roar, but he began an emergency descent, guiding the crippled jet toward Maui. For 13 terrifying minutes, the plane flew with catastrophic damage, held together by little more than its floor structure. Against all odds, it landed safely at Kahului Airport. Investigators later called it one of the most remarkable landings ever, and that no airplane had ever landed with that amount of damage. A moment of tragedy and extraordinary skill.
Amazing.
You know, I remember that very clearly, and I just, it was a shock to me as a pilot to figure out what happened there was mental fatigue. And I think at the end of the day, when you run the ATC reports, it ended up being mental fatigue.
Yeah, that was
not mental, mental fatigue.
Missed during inspections,
During that, and when that top came off, if you look, there was a line that went from the cockpit.
Yeah, you were pointing that out as
and it goes down, right?
Yes.
And then down underneath are all the hydraulic lines. Had they lost anything in the floor and that overhead line, they couldn't have, they probably couldn't control the
airplane. And the floor is what held the jet together.
Yeah.
I was seeing some interview footage of one of the guys that was sitting in the seat, and he said that it all ripped off by him. And he said he looked at his foot, and down past his foot, he was looking at the ocean.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was so noisy in the cockpit they couldn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't function. They just yelled at the pilot and the co-pilot yelling back and forth. It's quite a story.
Yeah.
All right. Earlier we talked about when you get discouraged. I know that never happens to you, super spiritual people. There's a guy that never gets discouraged.
Oh, gosh.
There's a guy that's only going to have a broken leg now for 2 years instead of 6 months.
Yeah, and I'm optimistic about it. Yeah, right.
No, it's a little facetious, but the point being is I think there are times where we just kind of go, okay, God, where are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got to stay faithful. And Sharonda Cooper, she's with Crossway, which is a great apologetic organization out there, talks about, staying in there, hanging in there, be faithful in your race.
I just turned 50. My husband and I just turned 50 in February, and I don't know what it is, but I think when you get to this age, you just really start to reflect on the seasons of life. And I've only run one marathon, but I distinctly remember the different sections of the marathon and how it felt. There were times when I just wanted to stop, but I thought, okay, if I keep on putting one foot in front of the other, I will eventually get to the finish line. Life is so much like that. I think about the season of being a teenager and looking forward to going to college. And then I think back to my college years and wondering, would I get married? Would I get the job that I want? And then the season of parenting young children. All of these seasons are designed to produce something. And in every season, God has used my circumstances to make me into the person I am now, and He's going to continue doing that. So every season is a step along this beautiful journey. But there are hard points. I remember in the marathon, there was a point where I felt like I couldn't breathe very well. And in those times, I always think back to Hebrews 12. Right at the beginning of chapter 12 of Hebrews, it says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God." I think about that almost every day, actually. I say to myself when I'm dealing with something hard, for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross. And so for the joy set before me, which is to someday see his face, to someday be in the presence of God, I will endure whatever the hard thing is right now. It is his victory that gives us strength. And so in every season of life, we need to trust that he is using it to make us into the kind of people who will endure to the end.
That's key. Run with endurance the race before us.
Boy.
It is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Nope.
And especially as you get into the later stages of life, it certainly can feel like a marathon, can it?
Yeah, what do they say? Too old, too quick, too smart, too late.
I love that. Yes, that's right. Say no more.
Speaking of which, we'll be right back.
What have I to dread? What have I to fear? Leaning on the everlasting arms.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? When you want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life, call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV.
Mornings on the Dove covers issues affecting you. Good morning to you. A lot going on in the news. There always is. We'll give you some recaps of the top stories of the day.
But we also take the time to have some fun and laugh.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
Well, that's pretty wise.
And these days, we all need encouragement. Count on Mornings on the Dove to deliver just that from God's Word.
God is faithful.
You go by faith and facts or feelings, along with the day's forecast and interesting stories from Jerry's historical archives.
Changed the business of sports forever. Was being paid a staggering $25,000 a year.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
93% of Americans want voter ID. Join us for Mornings on the Dove. Weekdays on the Dove TV, radio, and streaming live at thedove.us, Roku, and Apple TV. All right, welcome back. Do we have time for this? Okay, let me talk. I had Mark Little on, and we talked about a lot of things. He's been doing a lot of talk lately on Israel, and I asked him, the rise of anti-Semitism throughout the world, is it about the land or about the people? And here's what he had to say.
You know what? I put it in the bucket, Perry, of the problem in the culture. We focus on Israel for obvious reasons because of what it means to us as a quote-unquote Christian nation and as our partner there. But it's really a part of the broader work of the enemy in the culture. We know that there is something very special about Israel because it is God's own. So everything is a war between good and evil. Whether it's black versus white, whether it is Catholic versus Jew, whatever it is, there is a clash that the enemy has created in the culture called division. If you look at what's happening even with abortion, you look at what's happening with transhumanism, transgenderism, and all these things, it is a poison pill set in the culture that ultimately Jesus Christ, he came to fix, and he's coming back once and final for all to fix it as he takes us home. But it is a poison pill in the culture, Perry, and anti-Semitism, of course, is very real, but it's real because of God's attachment to the land and to the people who become the followers of Jesus Christ, the seed of Abraham.
There you go. Good stuff. I take with you a very good promise today. Matthew 7, verse 7. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open. There's 3 wills in there that are in your favor. You may want to cash in on those today. But you know what?
What?
That means you have to spend time with the Lord to do the asking, the seeking, and the knocking.
Yeah.
Don't do it on the run. Do it alone in your closet. Stick around. We got some great guests coming up.
My song, this cornerstone, this solid ground.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so it just, everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why McKelly's is automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
Jerry's Historical Archives. U.S. history. Great moments in time. Record breakers. Our music through the years. Relive the past and learn something new. Open up Jerry's Historical Archives. Weekdays only on Mornings on the Dove. To all our mothers of all ages, a happy Mother's Day from the Dove TV, encouraging and informative.
Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and I've been looking forward to having Mark Manila back with us. Mark is the host of Financial Issues, and we are proud to carry Financial Issues right here on the Dove Television Network. He's heading up Financial Issues Stewardship Ministries, and he's carrying on the mission of the late Dan Celia, which we love Dan, miss him dearly. Mark brings over 35 years of experience helping individuals to invest with biblical integrity. He founded one of the first investment advisory dedicated to biblically responsible investing principles, co-founded the National Association of Christian Financial Consultants, and created the CFCA designation, which is the first faith-based professional designation in the industry. And he is the host of Financial Issues, and you can go to financialissues.org. That is their website. There's a picture of the landing page there. And, of course, you can enjoy his program right here on the Dove Television Network. Mark, good to see you, buddy. How are you?
It's great to be back. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's too bad I can't be on your show, but it doesn't work out because I'm busy.
Just stay that way. Yeah. We'll get you there.
Okay, good to see you, Mark. A lot going on. I so enjoy your insight in so many things. Let's talk about AI and America's role in shaping it. How do you see our position in this industry, AI industry, in the future?
Well, I hope I see it. I'm never good at projecting things, but my hope is that we're the leader all the time in AI, or any product or service or any thing that could be used militarily. If we don't lead from strength, we can't lead at all in that direction, in that area. So AI is very important to what's going on in modern warfare. We need to be the leader in it.
Does it frighten you?
Without a doubt. It is a scary thing. Perry, you probably remember the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, that is coming true right now, where AI is getting ahead of mankind to the point that that it is possible that it could actually be leading us instead of us guiding it in the near future. And that is very scary. That's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this, is because we really need people like our current administration who will take the lead on this, who will say, okay, we don't want to govern the research. What we want to do is accelerate the oversight, because only with the oversight, only with being responsible with it, can we make sure that it doesn't overtake us.
Yeah, it's it's staggering. I've used it on several occasions in different ways, especially in the broadcast industry. We test it here and there, and your brain goes on tilt of its capabilities.
It does.
But to your point, are we asking ourselves, are we good stewards of it?
That's a good way to put it. At this point, I'd say we're not. What we've done is just gone heads over heels into development. Obviously, the government is always behind when it comes to governing and controlling and being responsible about things. The government's there to protect the people, or should be. And right now, the government is got a long road to catch up with where the technology has gone. I think we also got to look at other things to help us to be morally responsible with this tool that God has allowed to be developed and to be used by us. We need to make sure that there are things in place. We can't let it be like HAL on 2001: A Space Odyssey. We have to have breakers in everything that happens, a way to shut it down, a way to control it and oversee it. And if we don't do that, that's got to come from the industry. It's got to come from the government. It's got to come from the individual companies that are doing the development themselves. And I think Anthropic is trying to do that, but not as much as they're trying just to be the leader in AI.
How do you see it, Mark, influencing, say, financial management, investment? How do you see it influencing that? Because you're at the mercy of this thing telling you something that maybe you haven't checked out for yourself.
Right, right. Right now, I really see it as being more. Any financial advisor who's not using it is behind the curve. It can look up things quicker than they can, than their assistant can. It can bring together different thoughts and articles and insights. It can do a whole lot to help financial advisors help their clients. Almost, well, think about this 80% of the trades right now being done on Wall Street. I read an article not too long ago are being done by bots, and those are AI bots. So a lot of the trading on Wall Street is institutional is being done by bots. Now those bots are being controlled and being programmed by responsible trade. Well, I wouldn't even say it's Wall Street. We can't say responsible traders, but we could say people who have strong interest in making them work right. So but 80%, think about that. When it comes to financial advice, when it comes to financial planning, a lot of financial planning is becoming a commodity now because of AI. And unfortunately, a lot of people will use their Gemini, their Chat GPT, or whatever AI they're using and just blindly take what it's saying as if it is law and as if it is concrete. There's many times I have been doing research and AI would say something to me and it just didn't sound right. And I'd press it. I'd say, "Are you sure? Dig deeper." And it'd come back and say something like, "Good catch, Mark." And then it'd have the right proper law. So we got to be really careful with this technology.
Okay. Where should we draw some lines? Let me follow that up with, can we trust AI with all of our financial information? Where do we draw the line here?
Well, we can't trust the institutions with it, much less AI. AI is flippant. It's not like a regular program. It's not like, you have lines of code and if this, execute that. What it does, it has a thing called drift in it, where it can drift off and go in a different direction than what you're asking it to do. It can forget what the focus was and lose control of what it is doing and why it's doing. That's why anthropics is so scary to us. It has the ability to outperform any human on the idea of finding and exploiting gaps in software, being able to break into institutions, so things like that. If it can do that, it also can take your information and disperse it freely as it sees fit. Or not that it has a conscience, but it may lose and drift and flow. And then somebody behind it could use it in a very evil way. We know from the very beginning, whatever is created could be used for evil, even though God meant it for good. I mean, Cain and Abel, he used a stone. Right. God created a stone, they used that. Stones don't kill people, people kill people. Well, the same's true with AI. I love AI. I love what it can do for us. I love that it takes a lot of burden off of research and development and things like that, and can move so much quicker than we can. What I don't love is that the development has gone much further than the oversight has at this point, and it's accelerating.
Can it be used for good in identifying our vulnerabilities in the financial world?
Absolutely. And that's one of the main reasons I really like it. Anthropic's already done that. It did a test in a certain environment where it broke into banks, it broke into financial institutions. It was able to get into the servers that they had set up in this environment to represent banks and financial institutions. So by identifying those gaps, those weaknesses, then they could strengthen those areas so that it can't happen again. So yeah, it could be used as a tool to identify where financial institutions are weak, or even your computer's weak. because it could easily, with the internet, people don't realize if you're connected to the internet, you're being watched. A lot of stuff is going on, and so if you have internet connected to your house, smart things as they're calling them, your computers, if you don't have the right firewalls or the right things set up properly, it can get in and find out all these things about you, your pictures, your photographs, your videos, your passwords, because it could get into your password manager. There's just so much it could do. I'm not trying to be scary with this, Perry.
Yeah.
Really, I think you phrased it right. Can it be used for good in finding out the weaknesses? Absolutely. And in doing so, we can develop better protection by doing that. The thing is to be ahead of that curve, not behind it. And that's what being a good steward is. Stewarding AI in a way that it can be used for good and using wisdom over it. And wisdom says, wisdom and prudence. Prudence says that we see danger and we hide from it. Well, we don't go away and hide. The way we hide from it this way is we prepare for it. We create the systems to block it. We create the off switches to make sure it goes away. The good news is if there's no electricity, it goes away. So you can always disconnect from the internet. You can shut down your computers. You can do that kind of stuff. But other institutions do that. So they have to have the firewalls. They have to have the right protections in place. And it's going to take them a while to catch up.
So at the end of the day, it's a super server somewhere, isn't it? With a big brain?
Somewhere in some bunker, there's one big computer. No, actually, it's not. It's kind of like when you look at Bitcoin or you look at other things, you have a technology behind it that's spread across thousands and thousands of computers doing the encryption and decryption. And AI is very similar to using the same technology. It's not just one computer. It can be ran on one computer, but it also, as we heard from Elon Musk, he wants to set up AI servers in space, orbiting our Earth. And in doing so, these would all be talking to each other. They'd all be processing together. They'd all be sending information back and forth. With the internet, you'd really have to go back to like the 70s and read the old sci-fi, how they described the internet. And everything is linked together and working together. And that's how AI really does work. It doesn't work on one big computer. It works on multiple. It's working on your and my computer most likely if you're using chat and GPT or one of the other AIs.
One other quick question before I take a break. I try to figure out Bitcoin. I have my own biases on that. But does AI set up the chance of changing our currency, getting away from the dollar and creating a one world currency?
Interesting. You know, that is that's one of the main scares. The idea that the central banks around the world, which are different than our central bank, the Federal Reserve, but they are already working hard and fast to make that happen. Can AI help? Yeah, it might be in the logistics, help with the logistics of it, help them develop the right blockchain development to make it happen. Yeah, I would say yes. I'd say yes, it can help accelerate the speed at which that is going to happen.
The reason I bring up that question, Mark, isn't Bitcoin kind of a test on that we'd have a currency that's backed by nothing other than emotions?
We already have that currency. It's called the dollar. It's not real. People don't know that. There's nothing backing the dollar except for the full taxing ability of the United States government. There's nothing behind it. I remember having this conversation with my son in the early days of Bitcoin going through the ceiling. You know, he was talking about how he loves Bitcoin and how he's using it for different things. And I said, well, I won't use it. One, the primary use of it right now is for buying drugs illegally on the dark market and selling children for sexual exploitation on the dark market. I won't use it. And he says, like, that doesn't happen with the dollar. So really, everything that's happening with the dollar will happen with digital currency. It'll just happen quicker and more efficiently, unfortunately, and they'll be able to track every movement you make in it. Just like China is doing, they track everything and give you a social rating that determines how you get paid, whether you get to keep your job. If it doesn't fit with the society that they want, they punish you. If it does, they reward you. That could happen in America as well. Luckily, we are much more independent and we're fighting it hard. And because of people like you, Perry, and others, we are absolutely making sure that the morality and the controls are in place.
Yeah.
I hope we can do that. We can only pray.
All right,
but we do have on our side.
Yeah. All right, let me take a quick break. Let me show our viewers and listeners, check out Mark's website, financialissues.org is the website. And of course, you see his program daily here on the Dove Television Network, Financial Issues. He does a marvelous job with that. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Leiser with Leiser Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Over time, every wall tells a story, but sometimes those stories need a fresh start. At Chris Silva Painting, we specialize in transforming indoor spaces, whether it's your family home or your business workspace. With premium paints, flexible scheduling, and expert attention to detail, we make the process simple and stress-free so you can focus on what matters most, living and working in a space you love. From bold new colors to subtle tones of sophistication, let Chris Silva Painting bring your vision to life, one wall at a time. Chris and his crew are courteous. They're efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960. 541-890-3960.
Hi, welcome back, and such an honor to have with us Mark Manella. Mark is the host of Financial Issues. You can see that right here on the Dove Television Network. We're honored to carry it. His website is financialissues.org. Mark, I want to come back to stuff you probably deal with daily on your show. Oil prices at the moment, inflation. What's your take?
Well, yeah, oil prices are pushing inflation a little bit. I keep thinking, imagine what our economy right now is so strong and so balanced, and the stock markets are acting so mature and balanced as well. Imagine what would be happening if the left hadn't been attacking this administration like they have with total abandonment. And imagine if there hadn't been a war. We could be going through the ceiling. Our everything in the economy could be just exploding. Interest rates would probably be down. We'd probably be seeing expansion going everywhere. That it is so strong right now is amazing to me, of where we are at. But yeah, oil is an issue right now, but the markets are reacting to it very calmly. At first, they knee-jerk reactions with every dollar up and every dollar down. But right now, the markets are seeing that this is temporary, and they can see where, and I think it's already baked in to a lot of pricing in the market, that oil will be coming down sometime in the future and probably the near future. So I think that we really don't have that much of a worry in the markets. At least the markets aren't acting like they're worried about it. And that's a good indicator. Our economy isn't acting like it's worried about it. That's a good indicator as well.
You're going to get a new Fed chair here in a couple of weeks or a couple of days, and be certainly pro lowering the rates. But is this now the time to do it when inflation's kicking up a little bit?
Well, Perry, the Fed chair seems to believe that the only answer to curbing inflation is to raise rates so that our productivity goes down. And that makes no sense to me. There's other levers that can be pulled. And in fact, why not let inflation go where it determines it should go, because it'll work its way back out. I know that sounds scary to some people, but the more we pour into the mix of things, the more the impact graduates over time. For example, when we hold back natural inflation from either the supply side or the buy side, when we hold that back by artificially inflating or deflating, what happens is eventually we pay the price and it hurts. We've seen that over and over again with recessions and economic pullbacks and things like that. I'm for the Fed backing off and letting inflation seek its own level. I get it. It has to control the overnight lending rate, and that controls and influences mortgages and things like that. But beyond that, I think it needs to behave and be still. But let's get back to the current. Yes, oil is affecting inflation. Obviously, everything in the world runs on oil. Not just runs, but either shipped, made with, made from, or just made in general from oil. Oil is in almost everything you're wearing right now. It's in everything we're using in technology to have this interview. It's in everything in every part of our life. So, of course, it's going to affect it a little bit. And yet, the restraint has been, we're seeing growth. We're seeing all sorts of wonderful things in the economy, not exaggerated growth, not exuberant enhancements in our economy, but a solid economy. So I think that with the ability we have to grow our economy, we should let it grow and not worry about the inflation as much. And we might see inflation naturally come down as production ramps up, people start buying goods, pricing comes down. Perry, when's the last time you heard anybody talk about deflation?
What does that mean?
Exactly. But probably when you heard somebody talk about it, it was negatively. Oh, we can't have deflation. Deflation's a terrible thing. It means that prices are going down. Huh? Why is that terrible? Well, it could hurt businesses that have large inventories. That's only a short period of time because the new stuff being made will come down in price, and manufacturing will adapt to the pricing. If it can't make it for the lower prices that come through deflation, they'll stop making those items, or those prices will automatically be raised. So that's what I mean is I think deflation might be a good thing, but a lot of economists don't agree with me.
I agree with you. I don't know why we don't give the economy every incentive to continue to be strong and grow. And if we get a new Fed chair that understands lowering rates against the normal thinking of high inflation, let's try it the other way. Let's lower the rates,
Think about this. You raise the rates to lower production so that it becomes less affordable to expand and create production. As you raise the rate, that causes price increases because the corporations have to pay more for the money they use to develop and grow their business to supply the product. So that causes inflation in and of itself. It doesn't make any sense.
Interesting. Before I run out of time, Mark, because I haven't had you on for quite a while, what's your take on the whole up and down of tariffs and where we are today? They still seem to be applied. I don't know how long that timeline's going to be. What do you think about them and their impact so far?
Interesting. I thought the impact has been great. He's used it as leverage for negotiations. He's used it to help supplement. Now, I know the Supreme Court is making some of those go away and actually be refunded because of the rule he used to impose certain tariffs. I think he's figured out a way around that. But here's the bottom line, Perry. Our Congress is the issue. They need to get on it. They need to be codifying these moves that the president is making so that they won't go away. I don't have any problems with the idea of moving manufacturing back to the U.S., and that's what tariffs will do. It will force the price up on imports over time, and that'll make it affordable to be making it here with U.S. labor. And I think that's a great idea. It increases our independence and increases our economy, the strength of our economy. It just helps all the way around. So I love that. But more than loving that, I really like the idea that these decisions, if you look at any decision, we talked about prudence, we talked about wisdom. And the wisdom here has to come from the Lord. If we don't base everything we're doing, if we don't make the foundation our God, our Savior, then what happens, and that includes an AI, if we don't use the prudence and wisdom God has given us, it will get away from us. It will be a tool of the enemy. It will be used to destroy us. Any person and in the world, the enemy wants to destroy all, so he will use it. So we have to develop it with a foundation of moral understanding, prudence and wisdom. And what prudence is, it's wisdom applied before the harm is done. Wisdom is recognizing the possible harm and the possible potential of things. God gives us that, and he gives us that in a selfless way, not a selfish way. Selfish people will use it for their own good and not the good of others. But people who understand what prudence and wisdom is and seek God's guidance will use it to help other people. And that's why we need to be grounded in the Lord always going forward, especially with things with AI, tariffs, and whatnot. I'm so glad to hear the president say that he believes in Jesus Christ. I'm so glad to hear the administration is full of people who do. This is very important. We have an election coming up. We need to make sure we have godly men and women voted in, people who are grounded in Christ, who won't compromise at all. If we don't, then these things will get away from us and the enemy will use them against us.
Mark, you're an inspiration. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, you can see Financial Issues daily here on the Dove Television Network. We're honored to partner with them. You can go to financialissues.org is the website. Very, very resourceful, financialissues.org. Good to see you, Mark. God bless you, pal. Let's stay connected.
Good to see you too, Perry. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 awards social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
Jerry, did Did you know that we're farmers?
Farmers? I knew there was a reason I like overalls.
At theDove, we plant seeds of hope, truth, and the gospel every day.
And when those seeds land in the right hearts, lives change.
But every harvest needs more hands.
That's where you come in.
Today, become a farmer with theDove. Plant a seed, help it grow.
Your gift reaches someone who needs hope.
Don't wait, join us in this harvest.
Let's grow something eternal together.
Give today at theDove.
Okay, welcome back, and it's time to have a good chat with our friend Drew Allen. He's the author of several books, Clinton Hoax, Obama Coup. He's also The Disclassified Story of Trump, Russia Delusion. He's a columnist for the Daily Signal and the host of the Drew Allen Show podcast. There's a picture of the cover of his latest book there on the screen. He's also a publicist who has represented leading figures in conservative politics and author of America's Last Stand and For Christ and Country, The Martyrdom of Charlie Kirk. He does have a website, drewallen.substack.com, and there's a picture of that landing page, drewallen.substack.com. Drew, good to see you, bud. How are you?
Hey, Perry. Good morning. Good to be with you.
Thank you for your time. All right. So what's your take on what happened on Saturday night?
Well, it's an abomination because it's become entirely predictable. I mean, this was the third assassination attempt of the President of the United States. And thus far, there has been zero accountability for any of this escalating violence in this country. And the left pretends shocked every single time. And in fact, actually, I would say it's worse than this, Perry. I don't think they seem shocked at all anymore. They're just nonchalant about it. In fact, a lot of the responses, I mean, CNN was concerned about, gun violence, right? So they want to make it a Second Amendment issue. You had Donald Trump go on 60 Minutes with, what's her name? Norah O'Donnell, I guess is her name, and did that 60 Minutes interview. And, she was basically promoting the slanderous claims that the attempted assassin used to justify his action against the president, repeating these talking points about him being a pedophile and a criminal and these sorts of things. And it is well past time, Perry, for a national reckoning and conversation about this, because there is no confusion about why this is happening. It's happening because the Democrat Party and the left decided 10 years ago to character assassinate the President of the United States and all of his supporters, smearing them as deplorables and Nazis, comparing Donald Trump to Hitler, saying that we are all a threat to democracy. And that's why we're here. And all of this is because of the left and the Democrat Party writ large, who have been speaking this way.
A couple things. Let's unpack that. They started this the moment he decided to run for president. They went after him. You know the drill, how many indictments, and so goes the list. 2 previous attempts on his life. But America did reelect him. And he's in office. He's going forward. This happened. And instead of pulling back in the last 48 hours, the left rhetoric is actually heated up. They're moving forward with it. This is amazing. I think the Democrats get an A in something, and that is blaming you for what they do. The question is it working?
No, it's not working. I mean, one of the responses from the left after this was obviously not shame for what they've done or any compassion for the president, his wife, and all of those individuals who were in that room who feared for their lives. But it was to suggest that, one, Trump is responsible for this again, right? He's the reason that this is happening. It's his rhetoric that's doing all of this. But more telling, I think, was a response I saw out there, which was, oh, no, is this going to help him during midterms? Which I think is unbelievably repulsive.
Are we becoming immune to assassination attempts?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The fact that Charlie Kirk, 9 months ago, I think it was now, that he was gunned down in such a public way, and we didn't have any accountability after that. we're totally immune. I mean, I think that, I mean, they've normalized this political violence. I mean, that much is absolutely true. This is just part of culture now. And it's been accepted for too long. I mean, after the first assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, at that rally, in which that brave hero and firefighter, Corey Compatore, died, that should have been the moment, Perry, in a moral society that everyone would have taken a breath and said, you know what, we're doing something wrong because there's an assassination attempt against the president. You know, this should have stopped after the Nashville mass shooting by the transgender killer Audrey Hale, when we finally got a hold of that manifesto, or at least parts of it, and it just parroted mainstream Democrat talking points about race, critical race theory, etc. Or maybe after the other transgender shooting that took place a week before Charlie Kirk was gunned down at the school where the children were seated en masse, and I believe 2 young children died and many others were wounded. But that manifesto talked about eliminating Trump and him being a Nazi and hating Christianity and religion. So it is time for us to hold them accountable. And I've been pleased to see this, Perry, because I felt like I was alone on an island for the last 6 months or so, ever since I wrote for Christ and Country. And I just remind you and people that Amazon censored that book. I've written 4 books. For Christ and Country, The Martyrdom of Charlie Kirk was the only one that Amazon wouldn't accept as a Kindle version. And they repeatedly shut down the book by saying they couldn't ship to different addresses, even though there was high demand for the book. And that book calls out the left for what happened to Charlie Kirk, and it addresses the cultural and spiritual rot courtesy of the left, and explains how it could happen, why it happens, and more importantly, how we get out of this. And I guess that message, you know, was too much for people back then, but I'm pleased to report that a lot of people are talking like me now.
So the left is united on their hatred for Trump. They and I don't know an easy way to say this, but they can't wait until he's dead. What is the right united for?
Well, we've had a lot of, we've been a little fractured in some ways, although I think it's overstated, Perry, because those of us who have a spiritual backbone, who are kind of, in one way, authentic Christians who have been part of MAGA from the beginning in terms of recognizing the importance of Donald Trump's presidency, and obviously recognizing with perspective, you know, what we're up against. You know, we haven't lost sight. And so a lot of these people out there, the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Joe Kents and the Tucker Carlsons and these people, it's really not that relevant. You know, Megyn Kelly, these weren't necessarily, I think the most surprising was probably Tucker, but the rest of them, they don't represent the majority of the MAGA supporters. So it's important to realize that, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene showing her true colors, or maybe colors that were always there, as kind of a fringe kook, that, you know, that's not dragging anybody along with her. Those people have always existed and still exist. But I think that what we must stand for, and I think that many of us do stand for, is a spiritual revival in this nation. And I'm hearing more and more people speak about God and speak about their faith. And this has been happening really in earnest since Charlie Kirk was gunned down, because Charlie Kirk represented such a public expression of his faith and trust and belief in Jesus Christ. And I used to not really be able to speak so openly about faith and tie it into the broader cultural problems that we face. And now I find that hosts who in the past really weren't interested in going there, it made them uncomfortable, now they are receptive to it.
Is that the open door, Drew? And the reason I asked that, I mean, what you're saying is even backed by George Barna. I've had him on the show talking about there is seemingly a genuine search and hunger among the younger generation for truth, because they've been lied to, the culture's lied to them. They're asking the question, who can I trust? And they're asking some common questions. Is God really God? Is there really a God? Is he really real? Is Jesus Christ really his son? Is there really a heaven? I mean, we're getting some very basic questions asked by several generations, younger ones, and I'm wondering if we're prepared to answer those questions.
I don't think a lot of people are prepared to answer those questions, but we've got to get prepared to answer those questions because there are a lot of great Christians in this country, Perry, and I can speak in earnest for myself in the past, right? I mean, I've talked about this on your show before with you, I think, but, before Charlie's assassination, I was kind of an autopilot Christian, right? So I grew up in the church. I went every Sunday growing up. I am a believer and always have been a believer. But, I fell away from reading Scripture and reading my Bible and really looking to God and putting him first, putting my faith first. I mean, it had been a decade since I had really seriously looked at God and said, hey, he humbled me, okay? And I have since dug into Scripture, read the Bible, been going through studying again, and preparing myself so that I can answer those questions, so that if I sit down somewhere and someone interested comes up to me and they are an atheist or agnostic or whatever else, and they want answers, well, I better be God's instrument and be able to give them those answers and lead them on the right path. So that responsibility falls on a lot of us who claim to be Christians, but don't really practice our faith in a way that is demanded of us, right? So you've got an amazing thing happening right now. You bringing this up, I think, is important because you're recognizing it. Other people are recognizing that there's a hunger out there. And so now we have to man up, if you will, and prepare ourselves to shepherd people.
The reason I bring that up, Drew, is after Saturday, I spent a lot of time surfing the media. I got mad at myself for being a news junkie, but there were some things that I saw and noticed there. And I even spent a lot of time through all of the Christian channels listening to what various preachers would say and everything else. And there was something that stood out to me, and that was, I understand people are frustrated, they have an opinion and they want to express it, but we're dangerously close of leaving God out of the equation. We're dangerously close not including Scripture in what it says in the equation. Just because we're a preacher or a talk show host or we head up a ministry, somehow that gives us the open door to express what we feel, but we don't give the reason why we feel that way. It's a fine line, and I wonder if we're sensitive to the fact that we got to back up what we believe with what we believe.
Yeah, well, I think this is a representation of the root cause of the spiritual malaise in the country, which is that a lot of religious people, pastors, preachers, priests, they've been fed this lie of separation of church and state. The left will use their pulpits and their faux churches to preach leftist progressive ideology in the place of Scripture, in the place of God. So they remove God from the equation, and they instead use those churches to preach secular progressive politics, which of course is antithetical to pretty much all the teaching from Christ and in our Bibles. So we've got to break from this pattern. It's habit at this point, right? I mean, and the left never worries about this. It does amaze me. I watch these left-wing churches that, sometimes are full of people, and they don't worry about there being a conservative or someone who disagrees in the audience. They just preach the leftist gospel. But when it comes to, Christians, conservatives, those same, by the way, if you were following Scripture, you're not a leftist. You cannot be a Democrat and a Christian in terms of what those policies represent. But I see the kind of correct pastors who are hesitant, and that's just this built-in fear that's been created by, punitive measures from the left and a society that has tried to remove God, obviously, from the equation through separation of church and state. So look, we've got a lot of work to do. But, there are some central tenets that we can all study quite easily and quickly to break from that. And one is to break open and apart this lie of separation of church and state. It doesn't exist. It's not in our Constitution. It's been bastardized to try and prevent Christians from participating in public life.
Well said. Let me take a quick break. Check out Drew's website, drewallen.substack.com. And you can certainly check out his book, Clinton Hoax, Obama Coup. Fascinating rig. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
To all our moms of all ages, a very happy Mother's Day from the Dove TV.
When technology slows you down, your business and your life feels it. That's where Rogue Tech Pros comes in. We provide business technology services, managed IT services, and custom phone systems for businesses and homes. Our award-winning team takes time to understand your unique needs and builds a customized plan to keep your systems running smoothly so you can focus on growing your business while we handle the IT headaches. Find us at RogueTechPros.com. RogueTechPros.com. We keep IT simple.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
The Dove TV is pleased to announce we're now seen in the San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose area via a new full-power TV station, KEDB, seen on cable, satellite TV, and over the air. The Dove TV, encouraging and informative for San Francisco, Oakland, and the San Jose area on new full-power KEDB TV.
Welcome back, and honored to have back with us Drew Allen, the author of Clinton Hoax and Obama Coup, which is his book. And of course, he has a podcast called The Drew Allen Show, which is available on most of those platforms. And he does have a place to connect, drewallen.substack.com. Drew, I want to come back to some of your writings in your book, and in particular, it looks like Russiagate's back in the news. And there's rumors that some possible arrests or indictments are coming down the road. I don't know if we're ready for this again, or fatigue factor being what it is. But if arrests do happen, what do you think it'll be? Will it be over the process abuse, false statements, perjury? What do you think? What's the interest here?
Well, there's a wide gamut of options, and they're going to have to just. I'll give you an example. There's breaking news just before I came on here that an indictment has been issued for Fauci's top advisor. And that was based on deleting emails, I assume from government servers, things that should have been preserved related to this COVID scam. And so he has been indicted. So you have somebody now, and the way they got him was deleting evidence, right? So I imagine there'll be a lot of prosecutable crimes along those lines. We've heard Kash Patel talk about all the burn bags he found when he came in the FBI, all these different, they were trying to, hide the evidence, just like Hillary Clinton using bleach bit to try to destroy. Well, she successfully destroyed, I think, 43,000 emails before turning over, the requested emails that were subpoenaed from her, which is obviously violating the law, but I think it'll be a lot of things like that. But it's going to have to be, as it relates to Trump-Russia collusion, because it's been 10 years, it's going to have to be related to conspiracy to defraud the United States, because the statute of limitations, I think, is 4 or 5 years. So with this particular legal pursuit of the clock resets every time they actively engage in that conspiracy again. So it could be, 2020, 2021, 2022, somebody, lies about the Trump-Russia collusion stuff or continues to promote the hoax. So the clock resets. So that way the statute of limitations doesn't prevent you from going after those people.
But to your other point, if it's a conspiracy to damage the United States, that's in their different category, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be, so-called treason. It wouldn't be so-called whatever. The legalese of it's going to be interesting to see. And, I mean, I'll have to talk to some legal experts myself to get more insight. But I just understand that particular statute, conspiracy to defraud the United States, because of its the way it resets the clock on the statute of limitations, is likely going to be the way to go. And also because that incorporates, requires two or more participants, right, who are actively colluding, if you will, to borrow the term from the left and the Democrats. But crimes were committed. I mean, we know that they were committed. And a lot of these people have gotten off the hook because they had a, Biden DOJ in there that didn't care. Or, the other problem is, if you go before a D.C. grand jury, these people all believe that Trump-Russia collusion actually happened. So your pool for your jury is tainted.
So the James Comey and the Adam Schiffs continue to walk free.
Yeah, they do. I mean, James Comey, we'll see what happens. He was, a grand jury was convened and they found him guilty. But on a procedural, on a technicality, the left went to the courts and they said that, the acting, person at the DOJ at the time or the, federal prosecutor, well, they weren't put in place constitutionally. And we know this because the administration, the Senate's not confirming people, and he's having to do all these temporary appointments. And so there's a lot of leniency for the left to kind of seize on those opportunities to muddy the waters. But, they've appealed that. So they're still going after James Comey. And there are developments in Florida as well related to James Comey. So, what I suspect is that you'll start to see some of these medium-sized players be indicted first, and then we will hopefully see them expand from there to the heads. The same case, and I don't have any insider knowledge on this, right? I'm just extrapolating from what we're seeing with the breaking news today. So the fact that you have them getting the top advisor to Fauci, okay, well, he's guilty, so let's go with Fauci next.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to come back to the faith community just for a few moments I have left with you. I'm wondering if we understand the moment that we're in as a country, not only from a spiritual perspective, but a civic responsibility perspective. In our state, we monitor it quite hard. 53%. So that would be 47% of the Christians eligible to vote in the last election cycle didn't get out and vote. I'm wondering if all of this chaos and confusion in the world is waking us up to our civic responsibility and spiritually waking us up that we need God's help.
Yeah, it's a process. I think that it is happening. Christians also falsely believe, and this is related to the same thing we're talking about before with the lies we've been told by, the left and our government, is that, because this world is, temporary and, we're going to move on beyond this and, Christ came and he died and he rose again for our sins, we believe in something else, something bigger than this, right? And so sometimes it has the effect of, well, what does it matter here, if this is just so temporary? But we are called as Christians to shepherd those around us. And that includes advocating for policies, getting into politics, supporting leaders, as your previous guest just noted, I believe, about getting people in there that are Christ-centered. That is a fundamental obligation of the Christian. And, we could do a, 2-hour show on scripture, and I'm sure people would point to, give to Caesar, what is Caesar's, et cetera. And these things do not tell the entire story of obviously what the obligation of the Christian is, but we are absolutely, and it's not even debatable, we're absolutely called to minister. And, if you've got politicians in cities who are passing, or who are pushing gender theory that's harming kids. Well, we have an obligation as Christians to protect the innocent, to protect children, to protect widows. And part of doing that is preventing those things from happening to them. How do you prevent those things from happening? Well, you better get involved in politics and fight back against it.
So, what are you doing these days? I mean, I know you've been through a change, you've been through a challenge. What's God telling you?
He's telling me to be patient, to be even-keeled, to trust in him, and just keep moving forward, keep doing what I'm doing day after day, obviously taking care of my family, my young kids as well. I have this thing on my heart that I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, Perry. I mean, I look at TPUSA and these other organizations that are very important and their work's important. I support them, but they're doing this curative medicine, right? They're taking a patient infected with cancerous ideology and they're trying to fix them at high school or college, but it's starting in elementary school. 5-year-olds are being indoctrinated in places like California. So I want to develop some national organization myself, I think, that goes at the other end, that's preventative treatment, that's going to provide a framework and network and structure so that we can start at least at middle school, but even earlier, giving parents, the tools they need and children the tools they need to, frankly, become Charlie Kirks. I want to create 1 million Charlie Kirks that can debate. That's a force that the left won't be able to stop or deal with. So that's on my heart. I don't know how it's going to work or what I'm going to do, but that's just kind of something that's been on my mind for a few months now.
Are you surprised at the pushback that Turning Point's getting across the country now?
No. I think this is spiritual warfare. I think there's spiritual warfare. I mean, Charlie Kirk, no one's perfect. Charlie wasn't perfect either, but Charlie was in alignment with his plan and God's plan aligned, and that's part of what we have to do. I was in the desert for a decade before I finally submitted to God and said, okay, fine, I'm not going to do this, I'll do this. But, look, our nature is sin, Adam and Eve, the Garden of Eden, and there are a lot of things we have to deal with. And, the devil and everyone else, those forces out there, they want to tear apart these things. So, yeah.
Gotta go. Good to see you, friend. Drew Allen, Substack.com is the place to go. There's the picture of his landing page. Connect with him. Good to see you, brother. And let's stay connected. I know God's using you, and I want to be a part of it.
God bless you. Talk soon.
I'll see you later.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living, your home